All right, I didn't catch Mike mid-sentence this time, so I'm a little disappointed, but I'm also incredibly excited, and I'm also Andrew Otway, and it is my extreme pleasure to welcome guys, gals, and non-binary pals to this episode of Blast-Heath Burns, also known as Burning the Kingdom of Ash, and I should probably update that overlay so that we have consistent branding, because always be branding. And I'm going to stop talking now and let these three people introduce themselves.
Adam,
Hi, I'm messing with my camera, sorry. So hi, I'm Adam. Today I'll be playing Magnus, the philanthropic person who gives money away to his friends that then lose it promptly. And I'm struggling beyond that. That's it.
I am Mike J. Larkson Berard. I am playing Lady Margareta Agnesia Benicio del Toro. I forgot her whole name because I'm only now playing Roll20 because I am a bad player.
DeLuca de Fabri is in there.
Yeah.
Pasqualina is one of the
Pasqualina,
names.
Bianca Florentia. Florentia must be the new one because I don't know how to pronounce it yet. Lady Margareta Agnesia Luca Pasqualina Bianca Florentia de Fabri. I add a name whenever I remember to. And I'm not an assassin. I'm not a very good spy, but I'm getting better.
I mean, you have assassinated someone on camera.
I mean, let he who has not assassinated someone on camera throw the first stone. They? So I'll just throw in mind control then, and, you know.
Okay.
Zach, you gotta unmute yourself before you introduce yourself. Mute button, Zach's one nightmare enemy.
It really is. As I was telling Andrew before we started, I am this like obnoxious bullhorn of a human, so I make sure to try to mute myself whenever possible. Hi, I am Zach. He, him. I am playing Indiso de la Vino, the world famous vintner, and head of Two Tusks Grapery, as well as the Third Tusk. Possible Messiah of Pakun. We haven't come back to that yet. We'll get there. And all nearly destitute at this point. We were discussing between. We're doing a time skip, which we're spoilers. We're heading into that. And I've been considering who to, for training purposes, routinely poison over the course of these 3 months. So
they have to be easy to poison.
Yes, they have to be very easy to poison. Like this has to be someone I can just routinely poison, right?
Does goats count? Can you put
the elves who poison goats?
Yeah, that's me.
Just want to find the skills section, because I think poison might honestly be the crafting of said, and not the application thereof.
I mean, honestly, I think what's going to happen is I'm going to spend 12 hours a day for 3 months on a challenging vintner roll.
Mm-hmm.
And then another 4 hours for the same 3 months on a difficult vintner roll. And then 2 hours every day for 3 months doing something that I haven't identified yet.
So yeah, poisons is a specialized apothecary skill that allows characters to concoct harmful substances from herbs, minerals, and animalia.
You construct poisons from animals? I guess like ground
venoms,
frog,
right? Yeah.
Or I mean,
like that's what venoms are.
Yeah.
Is poisons from animals, right?
Well, no, poisons and venoms are similar things that happen differently. One is they get injected into your bloodstream, and the other one is you eat them and then they make you dead.
Sick. That's poison.
And venom is like the stuff that gets injected from them biting you, rather than you biting them.
The Wu-Tang lied to me, friends.
I wouldn't go that far. Like, maybe we misunderstood the tang.
I mean, Zach, are you suggesting that Are you suggesting that the Wu-Tang Clan is indeed something to fuck with?
When poisons are on the table, apparently. Okay, I need to figure out what I need. So, for those of you following along at home, or attempting to, we're skipping 3 months forward, and we're sort of learning as we've been doing before, we're learning the rules of Burning Wheel as we go, and we're looking at the practice. Like, spending 3 months practicing doing something, right?
Or working for people who have tax.
It's true. Except I'm not going to be doing that at all.
Good.
Yeah. I plan on like someone eventually just tearing the weirdly fancy but still very dirty shirt off my back at some point, but before this ends. Like it's gonna happen. I need to look and see, what do I need? I could get in a routine poisons check.
Mm-hmm.
The time I have left, I think. No, I couldn't, because I only have 2 hours a day.
How long's the cycle on it?
3 months.
Oh, because it's special?
I think it's special, yeah.
Okay.
Unless it's not. Let me check it out. I'm pretty sure it's a special skill. But because Indiso's will is so high, he can train for 18 hours a day.
Which, that's just horrifying to consider, right? Like...
Yes, it is absolutely horrifying to consider. It is a special skill, which means that I would be trying to train for 19 hours a day, and I can't imagine that pushing myself that much harder while doing the two things that are making things that people drink and making poisons would go well. So
I think that's amazing, and you should do it.
I do think that my 2 vintages that I'm going to be apparently creating to do this thing, right? I think that those are like special brews for the hunting party, right? And this is already a thing that Magnus and I have worked out ahead of time. Like, this is part of me paying my rent to him or paying him back, or like...
I mean...
a deal already made.
I mean, if you want to get paid for it...
Well, I don't know that...
We can throw some dice.
Well, that's just it. Like, this is just like me putting those 2 numbers in a thing, right? So I don't think that makes sense for me to get paid for what
you can be like, hey, look, I made some wine, and it is an excellent vintage. I'm just saying, you have an instinct, which is ask for more money functionally.
I don't know if I still have that, actually.
Okay. I don't want to tell you your life either. We should probably go over beliefs, instincts, and traits as well, and then see how those inform our practicing.
Okay, so yeah, I was just getting to the right page here. Ooh, I had to change things. Did I have to change that? Yes, I did. Okay, so beliefs. I'm sticking with my Fate Farm of non-citizen-owned businesses are to be used. I'll exploit them for monetary gain.
Cool.
I'll maintain, because this is going to be the big thing today, probably, as wealth must be recognized by the nobles. I'll open negotiations with them. And the one I need to change. It used to be, now that the guild's been restored, I'll find a way to increase its members' wealth. Apparently by starting a mafia. So I guess I will establish or... I don't know if establishing the guild's or the mafia presence. I don't want to call it a mafia necessarily yet.
I will.
Legs yet.
No, I'm pretty comfortable calling it that, actually. Yeah,
it's working its way. It's still fledgling, but maybe over 3 months, shit happens.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know if
doing is growing the mafia.
Yeah,
you hired leg breakers. Like, you did that. That happened.
I hired convincing gentlemen.
Let me amend my statement. You threw down capital on a set of leg breakers, essentially.
I hired problem solvers. Thank you very much.
Okay.
I didn't. I just, if I happen to not know anything about how they solve those problems, the better. And as long as I get my money in the end.
So I mean, you could do a belief about the burgeoning physical security arm of your empire, or I mean, maybe there's a side of Magnus we haven't seen yet, and you can turn some attention to that.
I don't know how three-dimensional Magnus really is right now, unfortunately.
Oh, man, build another side. Build a dimension.
He likes topiary. No,
No, you can run with that.
You can
Yeah,
run with that.
no.
You can run with apiary in this game because apiary is a skill.
God.
What-
So many failures of dealing with bees.
Yeah, let's-
though, you have to, like, because you're gonna be a mob boss, right?
Yeah.
You're gonna be the mob boss, so you need some sort of like semi-intimidating but seemingly completely mundane hobby to have when they come talk to you, right?
So you're like feeding the
Pig farming?
bees.
Yeah. And then
Yeah.
and then you ask someone if they understand, if they know what the definition of nemesis is.
Somebody once told me that they were a bee friend. Well, would you be my friend? And you stick his head in the apiary.
Just drown him in honey.
Yeah. No, boss. It wasn't that. It's not like that. It's not going to be like that anymore.
Well, just leave. I love the idea of just like leaving bodies. It's like your hogs, except they're bees. So you just like leave bodies out between the.
But the bees aren't doing anything. What the hell? Why did I take up bees?
The people fertilize the flowers that the bees then. buzz to.
You go like full Dishonored and their blood flies from Dishonored 2.
Mm.
There you go.
Ah,
There you go. We got there, everyone.
yeah, you could. I would say they're rats, but does this take place in Alberta where there are no rats?
I mean, it could. Also,
Yeah,
you said
anyway.
Alberta in a very weird way.
Alberta.
Yeah.
Now, got to enunciate each syllable.
Alberta. Sorry.
I do like the
Alberta.
idea
Say-
of
Interesting enough,
viscerality.
Andrew, on Pandora earlier, it just randomly pulled up the last Saskatchewan pirate for me. I have no idea.
I brought
Was
that
it good?
up
Yeah, you did last session.
last session. Yeah.
Never heard of it. No idea how it ended up on my Pandora channel, but it did. So yeah, the second belief will probably be something about increasing the guild security.
Okay.
Or continuing to increase the guild security.
Sure.
And then instincts, never pay full price, or refuse to lie to make a deal. And I think maybe we'll turn an instinct into a hobby,
Okay.
the third one, because I haven't done anything interesting with the memoirs. I could have, but I didn't really have any drive. So maybe we'll take up. I need a new hobby. And then traits: inscrutable, distracted, self-satisfied, prideful, traditionalist, and infinity for business.
Awesome.
All right, Margaret has three beliefs that Zach needs to. I need to get Zach to rewrite for me. Because Zach knows how to write beliefs that you can accomplish the same session.
Lisa's a very goal-oriented person. So.
Well, here's the other thing: is you can just go for the thing. You can be like, "Oh yeah, I want to like walk up to this person and talk my way into the usurper's court."
But that seems
It's going to be very, very difficult. But you can try.
Yeah. So like I said, I think I said this at the end of last session. Like, if you notice, when I get a chance to frame out a scene, I'm like halfway through doing the thing that my belief says, right? Like, I frame it out so that I'm like walking, talking, doing the thing, and then I just have to sort of ride it downhill until it's done, right? And I don't know if that's entirely a legitimate approach, but it's worked so far. So,
okay.
I mean, I wouldn't say that Indiso's life is free of complication. So,
oh, it's so terrible. I'm gonna die lonely and sober in a gutter somewhere.
so what are Margretta's beliefs? What are things that like you want to see Margretta do this session? Actually, that might be a better way of doing it.
Yeah, like I think that I'm going to work with setting up the leg breakers.
Okay.
I like the idea of getting a gang of ne'er-do-wells to cause problems for the usurpers, sort of like establish like a paid group of dissidents, like foment dissent, and like at the same time I want to make them more reliant upon me.
Okay.
They're not yet, but I mean, we talked through the ritualized suicide of the heir, in a unfortunate turn of events, chose to take his own life throughout without any impact from myself. I can't see how Zach's twitching with his eyes yet.
With as a horrified onlooker.
Yeah.
I feel that I will be scarred for this for life. Does the kingdom have some sort of at cost therapy system that you can go through now? Is that?
I mean, that'll be my third thing that I set up, is that a serious mental health system. But in all seriousness, so I'm probably going to take his body back to court and try to get them to I don't know, install me in some sort of interesting capacity that way.
Okay, that sounds like your belief too. That fits right in belief too, right? And it can be because I'm watching the Twitch channel and I'm looking at your thing on Andrew's screen. I will disrupt, or I not too sorry. Oh no, your first one. I will win my father's favor by inserting myself in usurper's court. I will return them the body of their slain, so that blah blah blah, and you can just drop the body and you've done the thing. Yeah, like.
So I've added, like, just based on the three things Mike just said, I've just put in 2 slashes and then just essentially the thing Mike said.
Yeah.
I think 1 and 2 are sort of like steps 1 and 2 of the same belief. Like, establish the group of dissidents and then get yourself at the head of it is probably like a next session thing.
Okay.
Or I mean, like, establish a thing with myself at the head of it.
Right.
Those feel just very closely related, and so it feels like they could be sort of like one extended belief, or like 2 sort of one extending into the other.
Makes sense. All right, so now I have 2 better beliefs that are not lofty goals or ideals that I hoped one day to accomplish, but actual discrete broken down tasks with a completion criteria that can be completed in 1 sprint.
Yeah.
My instincts are to pry secrets from lips, never let someone get too close, and always be network building. My traits are your lordship, because I am noble born, and I can execute you if you fail to talk to me properly. But luckily, I am also a prideful, violent traditionalist. Prideful, violent traditionalist. So it's not like...
So it's very unlikely that you take offense to someone not calling you my lady.
And then have them executed because of it.
Or doing it yourself.
Right.
So yeah, you can just say that Cardswallop like addressed you incorrectly and had to pay for his sins, right?
I think they would take umbrage with that.
Didn't you also like cut off his hand, or was that a separate plan?
He
That
went.
was a separate plan.
He went for a weapon, and then it was just sword through hand.
Stab in the hand.
Oh yeah, I remember now.
My traits are cold-hearted, darling of the court, and mark of privilege, as well as aura of innocence. My relationship is I am the disfavored daughter of a prince, the next county over. And Timothy Cardswallop is a friend of mine who I'm not going to kill today. And I know Reach, a sharpshooter and cannonsmith.
You could even make Timothy part of your belief. Or a belief.
Don't kill Timothy?
Or just like, yeah. Something like, not all interlopers must be condemned to death. I will blah 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 blah. Right? Like it depends on
Let's-
how
let's
you
see
see
where the
things.
session takes us.
Sure.
I don't
I'll
want to
kill
get
Timothy last.
case.
There you go.
All right, is that me?
Yep.
All right, cool. So, belief number 1 is the old god Pakun favors his grapery. I will complete a supplication ritual under Moose's direction.
Sure.
Number 2 is I am building a great future for the grapery. I will make an impression on the upper crust of the valley to build our prestige.
Mm-hmm.
And I think in my head that ties directly to the hunt
Yeah.
thing.
It's-
And belief number 3 is my dreams have power and will show me the path forward. I will attempt to induce another one to gain its wisdom.
Oh, good. How's that poison?
I don't know. Let's find out. I have 2 dice in it.
I mean, it's enough to party.
It is. Really, if you want to come down to it, like 7 dice in Vintner or 6 dice in Vintner is like essentially a very slow form of poison.
Mm-hmm.
So my instinct number 1 is I will always accept a drink if offered and produce one if none is. Because we went around on that one a little bit last time.
Sure.
Because originally it was intended to like put me completely at the mercy of someone who wanted to poison me,
Yep.
and that has not happened yet. So I'm looking for other ways to cash in on it. Instinct number 2 is I will look for occult signs in all things.
Mm-hmm.
And instinct number 3 is I will always follow my dreams. And I feel like those 2 probably are very similar, and I can probably work in another one, but
Probably.
yeah. I will always praise Pakun.
Just like suffer not blasphemy.
Oh.
Or something similar, right?
Yeah. Something like that.
Just making a list of blasphemers.
That's a little hardcore. I'm the happy-go-lucky messiah
Okay.
of the orc god of endings,
Right.
right?
Sure. Endings in sacrament.
Mm-hmm.
Cool. So does anyone have their training or their practice? Because so we're alighting 3 months. I think we're heading from like mid-spring to midsummer.
Let's go through the how this works, right?
Sure. So you can spend some time according to the quantity of dice you have in will. Which is to say, you can spend... Where is it? It's 3 times your will? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
My will's 4, so I can spend 12 hours a day willing.
You can spend 12 hours a day practicing a bunch of things.
Tough.
And so if you would like to spend 3 months and 12 hours a day, you can earn a challenging skill, like a challenging pip in a peasant skill, or seafaring, or special miscellaneous.
So is that like I have to spend 3 hours a day, or sorry, 12 hours a day for 3 months to become like get like a pip and like.
Well, so that was
like
a challenging pip. But so social is 1 month. So you could train up like.
Isn't that exactly the same as me talking to someone?
So if you're rolling the dice and like failure is a consequence, like there are consequences to failure, then you start marking the tests. This is stuff which you can practice basically freely.
Yeah.
Consequence.
Yeah, like specifically for the example that's coming up for me, my vintner skills, right? Like every time I do a vintage, I basically look at how in DSO at least is burning some amount of grapes and some amount of resources and some amount of time to do this thing, right? This is him doing that without a risk of failure, essentially. Just taking a huge amount of time to do it.
Okay.
So I mean, like, yep.
But I can't like learn persuasion?
No, because so if you're still learning a skill, then what you're actually doing is you'd be practicing the root of it, which is the stat, and will takes a very long time to advance. Yeah. So I mean, if you wanted to, like, you could probably bump up your ugly truth and have a bunch of time left over.
Ugly truth is what? Social?
I believe so. Interrogation is another thing that you could probably, or falsehood. But yeah, social stuff is fairly cheap. It is 1 month is the time you need to spend doing it, and I think it's like 2, 4, and 8 hours for routine, difficult, and challenging.
So, does that mean that I could do like 2 social skills at a time, or 3 if I'm doing the difficult one for a month?
Yep.
Oh, holy shit, that's going to be complicated.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let me get the old spreadsheet fired up.
Basically.
Yeah. The math gets recombinant pretty fast. It's great.
What did you
For
call
a
me?
second there, I thought, right. I heard recombinant, and I was like, ridiculous. Like, I heard that as like a different word than it was. Said Mike quietly into his microphone for the internet to hear.
I just looked at torture. Torture is a special skill. It's not social. I meant to look for interrogation.
No, I can't practice torturing. It's a 3-month cycle. I see a special misc.
Yep. Interrogation is social.
Okay.
Just go into a crowd and start interrogating.
Basically.
You there. What is thy bidding, my master? Oh wait, that's something else entirely.
I love the idea of you just like randomly pulling in, like doing the Batman thing, because that's what you're interrogating, right?
Right.
So like you're doing the Batman thing, you've got a mask on, you like pull them into an alleyway, you beat up on them a little bit, and you're like, tell me, because interrogation, they tell you what they think you want you to know, right?
No, that's torture. Is
No, that's torture.
Oh, torture?
Interrogation is I actually get the information out of it.
Okay. I was gonna say, you just be like, tell me the sky's green.
Yeah. Yeah, torture is they agree. If you succeed on the torture roll, they agree to whatever you demand of them. If you fail, they take a debility that like increases with their will, which is to say, if you fail a torture roll on someone who has high will, it's worse for them than if they
That's right.
had really low will.
It just means you broke them harder and they still said no.
It's super fucked up.
Yeah, it's also like the best description of torture in an RPG that I know of.
Yeah.
All right, let's see.
Someone that has a book. I'm pretty sure persuasion is social, but can you check for me?
Yes.
Yes, it is. It is. It is. Because I was just looking at the same thing, actually.
Yeah.
Trying to fill in holes around mine, because I've got 18 hours to burn. Spending 16 of it on Vintner. And I have 2 left.
Your will's 5?
My will's 6.
Wow.
He flopped. So instead of doing 6-4, he went 4-6.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So I have. So I'm going to be getting a challenging and a difficult Vintner, which will actually bump my skill up 1. And then I think I'm going to be getting 3 shots of routine persuasion at 1 month apiece.
Yep.
To finish out my routine block on persuasion, and leaving me with only a challenging attempt left to advance.
So I think I have enough to level up both haggling and persuasion with like 4 hours left just to do whatever
Sure.
for 1 month.
Oh, 1 month and 4 hours.
Yeah, I have 4 hours in a single month to do something.
Yeah.
I mean, that's a difficult social check. Like, you could get yourself another difficult haggling check, right?
Oh, like for like the next level above it, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, you could
Loop
lap
it
it.
over.
Let's see. When I bump this to 6. Okay, so it just adds a challenge.
Yeah, you just need 3 difficult and 2 challenging.
So if you're working on something, can you? I might have missed that, but if you're like having a learning skill in process, can you
Then it's
spend
this.
time on that?
Yep, but it's the stat, so it's generally very expensive.
Oh, okay. I missed that part.
Yeah. When you're opening a skill, it's better to just take the swings.
I mean, I think power's actually pretty quick.
Power is pretty fast, yeah.
Will and faith are the longest at a year.
Right.
Yeah, a challenging will test is 16 hours a day for a year.
So, oh yeah, that's stupid. But I
What are you doing? I'm just punching this rock.
just
I'm
really hard at it.
headbutting this rock. It's about will, Mike.
Well, I mean, punching a rock for 16 hours a day for a year is about will.
See who gives up first, basically.
Why is Will always punching a rock, Michael?
I mean, I saw it The Last Jedi. Wait, no. Because...
So I just want to comment the craziness of this book. So I get a lot of these practice categories. They're nice and general, so they can fit things in there.
Yep.
You know, musical, physical, social. But then there's forester. Like, are there so many foresting relating skills in this book that it needs its own category compared to everything else?
So let me tell you about
Probably
something.
yes, actually.
Adiso has a couple of different forester skills, which surprised the shit out of me. One of which is
Herbalism?
stealthy.
Yeah.
Stealthy and herbalism.
Stealthy. Okay, so then I guess forester isn't the best category.
It's like yeoman. It's like people who spend time in the woods, essentially.
Aragorn
All
skills.
a wilderness or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So it makes more sense now that hearing some of the skills that are in it.
If you want to be Strider, you have a lot of forestry skills.
Yeah, because I was looking at like grabbing some routine tests because my stealthy is shit. It's like 2.
Yeah.
Why do you have stealthy?
I think it came free, actually.
Poisoner?
It's so he can just day drink down the down low, but he's not good at it yet.
Okay, so just straight up, and this always happens to me, but like Burning Wheels is a perfect distillation of it. This character's in the 6 episodes so far has taken a huge walk from the original intent. Like, we're so far away from it.
You have Castle Secrets Wise, which is, as we discussed, knowing the secret passages within the castle.
Yeah, no, I'm so far gone from where I thought I was going to be.
A castle you haven't set foot in on tape.
No. There's no record I've ever been there. So,
but you know all about the insides of it.
It's just 2 dice worth.
Yeah, not all about. I know enough to fork it into things, right? I also have an inconspicuous 3, and I am not inconspicuous. Right?
I want to say you rolled, but you might have helped.
2 difficult checks.
With what?
Inconspicuous or stealthy? You helped with one of those.
I helped.
You didn't have conspicuous, which is how you're going to help.
Yeah, because I wound up helping with wine tasting or something because I bribed the guards with wine.
Yeah.
Or plied the guards with wine anyway. But yeah, some of the skills just not immediately obvious. I was stealthy, physical, obviously, right? No.
Well, I'm pretty sure foraging is also going to be a forestry skill.
Yeah,
better
and
be,
there's just some straight forestry skills,
cutting trees down.
Yeah, lumberjack and things.
Where do wises usually fit?
They are
merchant wise.
I just looked at them. They're special.
Oh, special. Okay.
So they're
the
the 3 months.
The 3 months. Okay, yeah, I think I'm just gonna do what you said. So I bumped up haggling. I have 1 challenging and 2 difficult. I bumped up persuasion. I have 1 challenging and 2 difficult. That levels them both up. And then we'll just throw 1 more into haggling difficult. That should spend my time. No, I can't do that because I'm already doing haggling for that month. So I can't do 2 checks, I'm guessing, in 1 month for that, right?
Yeah, you can do a routine and a challenging at the same time.
No, it would have to be... Oh,
I'm spending 16 hours making wine a day.
But it's not filling. It's filling 2 pips on 2 different levels. Is that okay, or can you do 2 pips in 1 level?
I think you just throw pips at it, dude.
Yeah,
You just throw pips. Doesn't matter. Okay.
Yeah.
essentially.
You just spend more time,
I
so
hope
you get
so.
2 checks done at once.
Yeah, because I just threw 3 pips at persuasion.
I also
Okay.
just want to call out the best whys I've seen in this book, and although I feel like I do this every session, but tragic ends wise.
Mm-hmm.
Is that providing
good.
tragic
That's
ends for
good.
others?
You can use it for that.
Or just like I really like the idea of using because you can use one to declare things, right? So I really like the idea of just being like, yeah, that dude's uncle fell off the balcony and landed in a cannon and then was shot across the valley. It was great.
That's a spectacular end.
It would be more interesting to declare what we consider to be tragic endings. Like it's a tragic ending if you don't have a drink before you die. Like if you die without a drink in your hand, it's a tragedy in our culture.
Yeah.
That's why when you make it to like whatever we consider old, we just poison you.
Yeah.
That's the other. That's the other duty, unspoken duty of the
vintner.
The vintner.
God. That's why endings and sacrament and yeah, okay, good, we got there.
Mm-hmm. Yep. No, and like yeah, wow, yeah. Dude, did Pakun have like clerics who that was their deal? Right?
Yes.
Oh. Wow. Like they had big religious rituals that were they just like Jonestown, the whole congregation.
Yes.
Okay. So, Mike, how's your training going?
Oh, there's actually a practice times chart on this guild character sheet that I didn't even notice.
Nice.
Oh, is there?
Yep.
If you go below being learned, there's a pull down for practice times.
Oh, nice.
Oh, very nice.
Yeah. It's convenient.
So it doesn't like look up shit for you.
But that's where you can also log in what you've practiced, I guess. So if you do like
Where?
halfway,
Yep.
Yeah.
there's an
'cause,
ad
like,
field below it.
Mhm.
So yeah,
Yep.
if you want to do like a will thing, and then you can just log that this is 0.25 of a challenging will test or whatever.
So I am currently looking at I've got 24 hours over the I'm going to bump up falsehood and conspicuous because I can do that easily.
Okay.
But I can do, you said 3 times my will, which is 12, right?
Yep.
So that's 2 months
Yes.
down already. And then I could grab the challenging pip and a difficult pip. if I
In
remember
social?
if I remember this correctly. In another social one, like interrogation.
Yep.
And then I would just need 1 routine and 1 difficult in that to bump it over.
hmm
But how often am I going to get to interrogate? Do
Have
I
a
want
fun
to do that with
Saturday.
falsehood instead?
I mean, I'm not going to tell you how to live your life, but if you want to like,
Where the nearest bakery is, like, what's your favorite bakery?
Who has the best wings in town?
do the cookies crumble? Do they?
How many licks, motherfucker?
Well, there's one of these that was like root. It was everything came back to it, but I can't remember which one it was.
Persuasion forks into everything.
Persuasion or falsehood or ugly truth. Because ugly truth is what you use when you're just like, here's the argument for ugly truth. The difficulty for ugly truth is not the victim's will. The difficulty for ugly truth is the complexity of the situation about which you're describing the truth.
Okay.
Which means it can be useful to convince people like in DSO who have a will of 6 that you can just shoot them in the fucking head, because that's that's the worst possible outcome, which is difficulty 1.
So I think the first month is getting falsehood to 5.
Okay. Wow.
I do
That's a solid falsehood, actually.
2
Yeah.
routine checks and 2 difficult at 8 hours. and or is that right? Two routine at 4 and 2 difficult at 8 to get 12.
Yep.
That's 2 and 4.
Mhm.
So I don't know how to. I don't know if do I just click those and have them grow? Well, you know,
Yeah.
let's talk it out first, right?
Well,
Okay.
so just go to falsehood and set it to 5.
Yeah.
Yeah, it'll
That's
tell
true.
you
Okay.
like where you wind up.
And then the question is, do I want to do ugly truth or interrogation? And I think ugly truth is going to come up more often than interrogation.
I mean, that's up to you. Honestly.
So I can
Stop
get
and
the
truth.
challenge out of ugly truth in a month.
Mhm.
This is 12, right?
Yes.
Oh no, it's just 8.
Yeah, and then you'd have
Ugly truth is social.
and then you'd have 4 left over.
So I can get a challenge and a difficult of an ugly truth in a
Mhm.
month.
Yep.
Okay. So, and then I can get a difficult is only 4. The rest, so that leaves me 8. The next routine for ugly truth is 2, which leaves me 6.
So at this point, you'd be over. Because you
Right.
only
So
need
that,
3,
at
2,
that
and
point,
1.
ugly truth is 4.
Yeah, so let's do that. So 4. And then back out those dots.
And then I'm going to spend. I think I'm going to do a difficult and a routine for the next 6 and inconspicuous, so that I can just do a difficult and a routine to tip that over as well.
Let me double check what inconspicuous is. It might be social. It might be something else.
It is social. I checked.
Nice. Okay. Oh, right, because you're in a crowd and you're just like, I am no one special. You should ignore me. I am the Grand Galactic Inquisitor.
Now I've gotten better at the skills that I thought I was going to use the most of,
Okay.
and we already know that that wasn't true. Because I think I'm going to be opening up leadership here as well.
Okay.
Go for it. Let's do this.
I should read what that skill do.
I really want to watch you fail. With your like newly created band of leg breakers, I want to see you fail like 6 leadership roles in a row. I want to see it as your building.
Small decrees at start.
I don't even see a
Keep it
leadership
simple.
skill.
Yeah, I don't either. Huh. Apparently I was just talking my ass.
Well,
Oh, wait, it's
You
like,
can do administration.
Yeah. Well, administration, but if you're like captaining a group. So, I think it's tactics if you want to be like the military leader.
command
Or command might be the one too, yeah.
is the,
I like how
is the
there's
skill
lapidary,
sergeants
but no
have.
lepidopterus wise.
So, tactics is the knowledge of how to use small groups of soldiers to maximum effect on the battlefield. The skill can be used to set an ambush. Good.
Yeah, command is about
Telling
the
people
ability to deliver curt and effective orders on the field of battle.
Okay.
Can be used to negate hesitation of characters.
Wow. That's really good, actually.
Yeah, we'll see where this goes. Okay, but that's 3 months gone.
Yep. So yeah, you spend 3 months lying to people, telling people ugly truths they don't want to know, and interrogating them?
No, being and getting away with it.
And being inconspicuous, right.
Right. And when people say, "Well, who was the one doing that?" I was like, "There's a bunch of people there." But that I think that lines up nicely with me building Madam's Mafia.
Mm-hmm.
Are you
Like,
like
I
getting in? Sorry, go ahead.
It's like how I just spent 3 months doing my job, basically. So
Same. I do like the idea of Margarita doing like
Margarita.
Margarita.
doing incognito.
I spent the last 3
battles
months
of-
at the beach with an inflatable shark.
Looking for a lost shaker
Looking
of
for
salt.
salt. Nice. Just wasting my time again in Margaritaville.
in Margaritaville. But you're just like wearing a mask and getting in rap battles on the wharf, right? Just like that's.
Whoa, what did I do? Feedback hub. No, go away.
Okay, so we've seen Margareta. Do we want to jump over now to Endiso or over to Magnus?
I mean, I'm good to go.
You have 12 fate, you piece of... Wow.
Me? Yeah. I'm running a little low on Persona, but I got Fate just rolling out my ears.
You have 3 Persona, that's not low.
I would like to have more, though.
Sure.
So, I spent a lot I feel like I spent a lot last session, and then got a couple back.
I feel like it's hard to spend fate. Unless if you're not rolling sixes, you're not really...
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think you just... If you get to the point where you need Fate to, like, gratiate a die, you just feed it into the rolls. I'm just opening this is just opening.
Well,
also, there's other effects, right?
If you're using...
The only other one is negating superficial wound penalties. That's the only fate that I see.
If you're using fate on a die that's already open-ended, I think that lets you re-roll a traitor as well.
Oh.
Which is, so it's, if it's already open-ended, so if you're rolling like sorcery or a stat, is it all stats are open-ended or just steel? Anyways, if you're rolling a thing that's already open-ended, spending 1 fate lets you re-roll a traitor, which is a failure. So.
Can you spend a Fate to open it and then spend another Fate to reroll traitors?
No.
Okay. Anyway, Indizo at the end of last session, Indizo had torn up a perfectly good grapery, set his new religious underlings to a task that they didn't really think he was worthy of, essentially, and will probably wind up and failed to properly pay his taxes, essentially. So now he's going to spend 3 months basically underground making wine. And then, like, trying to train the goats to do things for persuasion.
The goats, isn't that goat-wise animal handling?
I don't know. I mean, it could also be, like, just me having long conversations with moose or
Squirrel.
Quail actually is the other orc that lives there. Although
The other orc with a name that you know.
That we know. I'm sure Indizo knows more names.
Are we? You think you have 2 goats total?
No, I know better than that now. Because I know now that there's just a rolling goat supply. So all goats look the same.
Wow.
Yeah, like as basically just like having conversations and being my delightful self, in an attempt to persuade those 2 specifically, but my workers in general not to like mutiny and try to socialize my grapery.
Sure. Good. You're a train wreck and I love it.
I mean, once I decided I didn't care if he lived or died, it pretty much just went from there.
Sure. How long did that take?
Not very long. As soon as it got into my head that, like, this guy's halfway between Johnny Depp and Richard Branson. Fuck this guy. And yeah, that's where we are.
And Magnus? See, I think Magnus is sort of swamped over the next 3 months dealing with guild business, dealing with setting up this festival, and it's just a lot of wheeling and dealing, making sure that he gets the best deals he can, and convincing people that, you know, this festival will be a success, and just a lot of business, so much so that he doesn't have much time to really build up his mafia much. But
I love the idea that, like, yeah, Magnus haggling like everyone down to nickels and dimes is just like, that's just him just getting through the day. Like, that's, he spends 12 hours a day just grinding someone's offer to dust.
Yep.
So you're up to 6 haggle?
6 haggle and 5 persuasion.
Woof.
So it has to be to, but it has to be to 7 though to get 2 fork dice, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Gotta do some haggling and fail miserably here challenges.
Mm-hmm. I mean, that's a good way to spend fate.
Yeah.
Yeah, don't forget
also-
Persona. The dice you get from Persona points do not count.
Right,
Yes.
right.
That's
Yeah, although
what-
I kind of want to save that for my resources checks because those failures are even worse.
they're real bad. It's real bad when you fail a
Yeah.
resource check. Yeah.
Yes, especially challenging ones.
It's absolutely, you can have that castle.
Yeah. I just had a quick question though. I was looking at my cheat sheet that I've found online, and it mentions leveling up skill advancement, but it lists 3 things I haven't heard of in this game yet, which are greed, grief, and hate.
So those are emotional attributes of greed is dwarves, grief is elves, and hate is orcs. I think it's also spite.
I
Spite
don't
is
see that
Dark
one.
Elves.
Oh. Okay.
So those are basically those are the magical abilities that elves get for being elves, dwarves get for being dwarves, and dwarves.
Okay.
And
Okay.
Manish get faith.
Faith and magic, like faith and gifted.
Yeah.
Because nobody else
Okay.
can be gifted besides humans.
Nope.
Because elves and orcs and everything else just are.
Mm-hmm.
What's the Great Wolf emotional attribute? Do they even have one?
The
I don't think
Worgen.
I don't think they do. The rat folk do, I believe.
Cage wise.
Oh yeah, that's the rodent.
The rodent have well, maybe they don't. Oh, they have their own like faith stuff. Or
Okay.
yeah, they
Okay.
have, they have like human-ish faith, but it's in like gross rat gods.
That's really good.
Oh, trolls. Trolls. Huh.
Yeah, it doesn't look like the Great Wolves get an emotional attribute, which is a shame. But they do all get crushing jaws, deep fur, great lupine form, long-legged, lupine intellect, wolf's eyes, wolf's snout, and a woodland ear. Have I mentioned that character sheets in this game are very good?
I kind of
Very
want to be
good.
a Worgen businessman now.
I mean,
You should have haggle. You don't get the deal you want. You just crush his throat.
it's also that, like, all of your life paths are like, yo, I just eat people because I'm a 10-foot tall wolf.
But I go off from a good deal before that.
I think you're actually like you stand 7 foot at the shoulder. Like, you're massive.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. They're huge. That would be amazing, though. Just like I'm imagining like a wolf with like a gold chain necklace and like a very dapper like velveteen wolf vest that it wears everywhere.
On the necklace is a rabbit's foot.
Oh, nice.
Just a whole
Nice.
rabbit.
For if you get hungry.
Yeah.
Yeah. Between meetings.
Okay. All right, so everybody's done practice,
I think so.
and it's been 3 months. Taxes have been collected. Party
Mhm.
party preparations are well underway. I imagine. Can't remember the name of that festival now.
Great Hunt something something.
That was the hunt, though. The festival as a whole was like Gunpowder's Eve or something. I don't remember.
Yeah,
Oh,
functionally, it was like the effectively like the breaking in of the new like season of rifles, and there's the
Oh, we have it. It's on the list. It's Arbicus Day.
thank
'Cause
you,
you have
Archivist
Charles
Day.
Eve.
Arbicus. Oh my god. So we go around and planting Arbici.
Yeah, I mean, they got a
We bless our new Arbicus. This is.
Where did I put that? Where on my list is Archivist Day?
It's right under the elf rich wine lady. Eldridge.
Okay, yep. Wood Sorrow's Eve was the elf thing that. Right.
Also happening at the same time because she convinced me, or she pulled her egg.
Well, so my actual like thought process for this is it's basically winter solstice being overridden by Christmas
That's
is
right.
what has happened to Wood Sorrow's Eve with Arquebus Day.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So she's trying to.
Oh, Tannenbaum.
Oh,
That's
Tannenboom.
Oh.
Also, yeah, that was O Canada. You sang the opening bars to there. Great, good, wonderful.
Sorry, not sorry.
Now I have Oh, Canada's stuck in my head, and it's playing through in English and then, or in French then English.
Shouldn't it always be stuck in your head?
No. Is Star Spangled Banner constantly in yours? Is that why your
Well-
country is so fucked up?
My 4-year-old has been singing it for the last 3 months. So
So it's
Sorta.
stuck outside your head.
Yeah. Good times. Okay. So yeah. Yeah, and I imagine like there is a bunch of like froofy elf crap that you've had to like plan alongside. Yeah.
Yeah.
Accommodate is a very good word. Oh, that's a very good. We're good people here. In Blast-Heath.
we're good people playing terrible characters. I'm assuming we're good people.
Cool. So based on everyone's beliefs, is there a scene anyone would like to champion for?
We could launch into Festival Day if we want. Otherwise, I'm fine with some more setup if people want to do things before that.
Do we want to see... I kind of want to see Margareta, like, whipping her leg breakers into shape, or... I mean, something to do with that?
Let's do it.
So, I mean, what do we see? What's the scene? Because you've got that house, and I think we said they all moved in, and it basically just, like...
Trash their property value.
They've turned it into, like, a frat house, functionally. Like, it's disgusting. Like, the bushes are just littered in garbage.
There's beer
I
everywhere.
think they're just all blown up. Like, there were bushes. Now there are no longer bushes.
Yeah, there's, like, this still smoking, like, branches on the ground.
Yeah, it's less frat house and more Hell's Angels moved in, right?
1%ers.
Isn't it 3?
3%ers?
Is it one?
I
Okay.
I get all the percenters mixed up.
Yeah, because it's 99% of people never committed a violent crime.
Yeah.
It's like 98, but yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so and my goal is to like I want to get them whipped into shape. What is this thing that I have so I can properly frame this scene for success, like Zach said?
I'm
You do
imagining them
the
like,
training montage.
Yeah, you're doing
Right.
like the Karate Kid training montage, but you have all these like
Rocky.
old ex-soldiers and bikers doing like yoga and thing. Like that's what I want to see. I also want to see like a giant swinging log that they have to dodge. Like,
So is this more like Mulan, or is this more like yoga to Enya and who can say where the road goes?
I
I
imagine-
think like there's that like a hefty portion of this is propaganda installation.
I think
Okay.
it's also a lot of de-training too, because you're training them to not kill their targets. You're supposed to intimidate
Why?
and break, because we needed them to pay money. Remember, I said the main point is that they need to be able to keep on paying money.
Yeah. So
If you want
I'm-
to keep funding up,
that's good, but I'm also sort of training them to be black masks. To overthrow these guys. So
Let's get down to business.
right, I don't know how violent it is. I think a lot of it is social propaganda. Like they came in and like they took her they took our jobs, but like the equivalent thereof in this.
just
Or
brainwashing.
I'm astroturfing a political organization.
okay, but yeah, you realize that like social propaganda. You know what the dwarves are, right?
Populists.
No, you know what dwarves are, right?
Short. I'm totally missing the
Okay. There's a thing that dwarves
Drunk.
are analogs for historically. There's a group that Tolkien took the attributes of.
the
What-
Irish,
Jews.
No.
the Scots.
It's fine. You'll be fine. I feel like you got this. I'm going to be myself now. It's fine.
But I don't want to be an anti-Semite on the internet.
There you go. Nailed it.
Okay.
Just saying, like, I'm imagining, like, social propaganda in this context is this is slightly different because they're, like, the ones that came here, right? But you're also teaming up with Magnus, who is, like, problematic.
I mean this the nicest way possible. I stabbed a guy in his hand and convinced him to kill himself last session.
You're right. I am the good guy.
But
You poisoned a young bride.
I mean, I technically had the poisoning.
Yeah.
If it makes it any easier in the intervening 3 months, as let's say tax figures have fallen, and the quantity of banditry in the region has risen, there have been additional Upper Argent. You could call them police, but they're not.
Brown
Also,
shirts.
Zach, just to mention how you've been treating the orc analogs on your plantation as interchangeable faces and making a mockery of their spiritual religion inadvertently.
That's the only thing that happened. Yeah, that for sure happened. Yes.
No,
I don't think there's any good people here. No.
I think Andrew's okay.
It's like aiding and abetting, I think.
Yeah. No,
Alright.
when I'm finished with these sessions, I just go and like be alone and quiet for a while.
I cleanse myself by self-flagellation with the basil branch or whatever they used to use.
It's a switch.
It's all incense and.
It's gotta smell nice too.
Well, no, it's my switch.
Oh, nice. Flap.
Oh my god, that was really funny. Did you pick out Into the Breach? Because that just came out.
I haven't yet, but I saw that news because I get to watch that kind of news at work.
Ooh, nice.
But yeah, okay, so Reach and Co are here.
Right.
I imagine he snaps a halfway sarcastic salute, and like maybe smacks one of the one of the more indolent soldiers to attention. Is just like, hey, boss is on site, eyes front.
So, I think that we were talking about the social things being made unsafe. Like, it's important for these guys to do both, I think.
Okay.
Like, when you go... Oh, that's what I was going to say. Like, do you remember the Sheriff of Nottingham from Robin Hood, the Prince of Thieves?
Yes.
Is played by... He looked like he was from Red Hot Chili Peppers, but he wasn't.
Zach, you're muted.
I know who you're talking about. I can't remember the guy's name. Sorry.
The internet knows, and that's not Alan Rickman. Apparently, I'm not thinking of the sheriff. The sheriff was, in fact, Alan Rickman.
Yes.
Who's the person he cut his heart out with the spoon?
It has been a while since I've seen this movie.
Guy of Gisborne, who's played by Michael Wincott.
Sure.
I don't know. He looked like a person from. He looks totally different now. Oh, well. His portrayal was very no nonsense villainy, right? Like, well, we've doubled your taxes, but why? We can't afford it. Pray that Robin of the Hood is brought to us before midsummer. Robin of the Hood, like that sort of thing. Like, I was going around like busting open shops. It's like, yeah, it's a damn shame, but like, when the dwarfs came in, they destroyed our outlying farms or something, and because they've done that, we've lost all of our good jobs. So now we've resorted to thuggery.
Okay, so that's what you're telling the former soldiers.
Yeah, I'm saying that as we go about this breaking extortion process, we have to use very politically charged rhetoric in order to fulfill our goal of undermining the unlawful authorities' hold over the citizenry of this region, and only by fomenting both monetary and political unrest, can we return this land to its rightful ruler? Us.
I love the us there. Because that's a clear entity.
Yeah, us. Yeah. Us.
And like the elves, and they're totally okay with the status quo.
Right. The status quo is good. We want more of us ruling our things.
Okay. So I mean, what's the goal here? Like what do you like if we throw dice? What do you get on success? And what are you trying to and how are you getting that thing?
Right. I don't know how I'm getting the thing.
Okay.
But what I want is the result to be when the legbreakers go out to come back with money. They come back with money and they leave people dissatisfied with being robbed, yes, but also dissatisfied with the system that allows them to continue to be robbed.
I think a lot of the businesses you're targeting are owned by Upper Argent folk. So I don't know how amenable they're going to be to anti-themselves propaganda.
Okay.
Yeah, you're not training canvassers, Mike. You're training leg breakers.
Aren't I?
It's not enough to bash in
canvas
skulls.
broken legs. We've got to bash in minds.
It's not enough to break knees. We have hearts and minds.
That's right. That's right. It's a war for ours. We're gonna have a leaflet campaign as well. Yes.
The leaflet's gonna be stuck on the spikes at the end of this club.
That's right. Bam! What's this? Propaganda. Enjoy. We have meetings every Thursday at the Y. Maybe this is a bridge too far.
I mean, it's what do you? So success looks like you're trying to rile up your troops so that they go out and are more motivated to effectively like create some unrest. I mean, there's probably going to be skirmishes. There might have been skirmishes with Upper Argent, like people carrying swords and spears.
Wait,
I don't think
so
they have guns.
This guy is explicitly like this crew is explicitly violent folk, right?
Yes.
They're not like dissidents. They're not political dissidents. They're just violent revolutionaries.
They're violent, prideful traditionalists who used to be in the military, have since retired to like go make guns by and large, or like live in the village. I don't know how many of them are city folk, but probably a couple. Mm-hmm. I imagine you've got like a dozen people.
Right.
And they got out of the game, but then you pulled them back in to go break knees.
Yeah. Or, I mean, use them for other ends, and Adam's knee-breaking empire can languish in disuse.
I think that I'm training them in extortion, right? I'm teaching them how to extort better.
Okay.
So we'll go with that route with these guys. We'll make them the money people. Zach has got his mouth covered in laughter.
Sorry. Just like, so I have trained so many canvassers in my life for various reasons. And I'm now imagining you doing like the extortion roleplay with these people. Like, one of them stands over here with a clipboard and it's like, but sir, today. And the other one's like, but I don't want to give you money. And it's just hours of that.
So, I mean, training them in extortion is a skill you don't have, and I don't know that you want to open up more skills. If you want
extortion?
Well, no, but training.
I have to be training-wise?
No, you have to like there's a teaching skill.
Yeah. Yeah. So, that's why I'm checking with you. I am actually not finding it, so you might be good.
Let me do some research here. Continue talking.
There definitely exists people that you can functionally buy or hire to have them train you and stuff. So I mean, if you wanted like if this is kind of like med school and it's like you go and extort someone and it's like see one do one, then like we can like this is happening in a shop and you're like, okay, we're gonna go in there, I'm gonna get us a bunch of money, and then you just pay attention and look scary.
Yes,
or,
that's perfect. Yeah.
Or if you want to go in and just be like, I'm gonna get you hyped up, so you go in there and you make us a bunch of money.
No, I'm gonna lead by showing. I'm gonna go lead an extortion.
Sure.
And then I'm gonna follow the next guy as he extorts, and we're gonna fucking pyramid scheme this extortion.
Great.
I extort somebody, and you extort two people, and you extort two people.
Right.
I mean, that's just extortion. That's not a pyramid scheme.
I'm imagining now like these hyper capitalist dwarves like just sort of wondering, or not after this starts, like making checklists, and each of them is like running around town extorting each other until they can make the web work at the very bottom somehow.
It's the Six Sigma of extortion. We're really lean extortionists.
Extortion is a popular skill at parties. Using it, you can threaten friends and enemies alike so they pay you to remain safe and healthy. Makes a great way to recover taxed resources.
Oh, hey. I have resources that are taxed.
Yeah. I love how just Adam sitting there silently, watching his criminal enterprise be just diverted this way and that.
FYI, the skill is called instruction.
Thank you.
Least. That's what I'm gathering from page 50.
That's the one. I couldn't remember the name of it, and I think trainer is from. It got into my brain from Mountain Blade.
Ah.
Okay.
I mean, I just wanted to give Mike an avenue to be more violent, and I'm happy that this is developing well.
Okay. So I mean, yeah, the men and women in play, and it's the giant needle. Yeah. Yep.
Isn't that an arrow that she's pulling out of this guy?
Sure.
Okay. And now I'm looking at hatred again.
Mm-hmm. So are you knocking over one of the three problem businesses, or are you knocking over... Okay. Because they're going to be more difficult.
Well, let's see. Do I need a difficult extortion? I do.
Okay.
Bear in mind that anyone that helps you with this test also gets to learn from it.
Yay!
Really?
So we're all
Nice.
going to work together, and when we fail, we're just going to set fire to the shop. And
Although, can you resist
Adam's
somebody
name.
if you're not skilled?
No, it's skills help skills and stats help stats. But if they're going to be trained in some method of doing violence, which is standing there and looking like you are capable of causing violence, is going to be help. Okay. So yeah, which of the three businesses are you outside of? Sanderson and Sons, Crane's Books, or Remedy That?
Sanderson and Sons, the legal firm, because I don't want to burn a bookshop on my first outing.
Oh my god, we are not good people.
Are you disguised at all?
I'm inconspicuous, Adam.
Okay.
You're not. You're like explicitly not though. Like that's the thing. Right now. You can't be like, "Hey, you there? Look at me. I'm threatening you." And be like, "Oh yeah, but you didn't notice me." So it's like I'm gonna walk away.
Smoke bomb.
She stands behind one of the larger guys, just through him, so you can't really tell. Like, this guy has a really high pitched voice, but it's very threatening.
That's how we roll here in Upper Argent.
Whoa! Didn't realize the occupiers got you that quickly, Mike.
Oh, Lower Argent? Where are we?
So the Upper Argent thing is, I imagine they're upriver as well, and so that's why it's Upper Argent.
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
Oh wait, I need this for forking.
So you're at Sanderson and Sons.
Excuse me, sir. I would like legal counsel.
Sure. Aren't you? Yes.
Tell me if I had run afoul of a gang of street toughs that whose job it was to explain to local business owners the value of the safety of their business in exchange for some coins. What advice would you give me?
That you should be aware of such people, and should they enter your business, have some kind of physical security of your own.
Oh, excellent. That would be very smart. I look around for physical security.
Yes. They have a few of the, like, not cops, functionally mercenaries that Upper Argent has hired.
Oh, these are lovely mercenaries. I shall have to get some of my own.
It would be a shame if something happened to them.
Exactly. And I look pointedly at the people who had followed me inside.
Yeah.
Not that I'm associated with the people who have followed me inside, but they appear to be lean and hungry types who are good at protecting places that need additional protection, such as your own.
Well, as you can see, I am capable of taking my own advice, and we have some physical security. So if there's nothing else,
I mean,
my lady,
are you
and he
sure?
like notices your scar. He's like, my lady. I am a very busy man.
Is this a terrible idea? Is this not working the way I wanted it to?
You can absolutely. You've walked. This is your first day in prison. You've walked up to one of the bigger, tougher guys. So I mean, we can throw some dice. I have no idea what this character's will is.
Okay.
But and here's the other thing. What would Lady Margareta do?
Okay.
If your life gets hairy and interesting, that's experience in Artha.
It's true.
You did ask for a challenging extortion test.
I said difficult, I believe.
I think you said challenging.
Let's put the tapes back.
I believe the tape would say difficult.
Okay.
All right, so
We can't always
Like-
get what we want.
yes. Excellent. So like I will nonchalantly like shit, so I don't have the persuasion. This character is not meant to be in front of people doing things. They're meant to
You
be
don't have-
behind people.
You don't have gentle persuasion, but you know what you do have, and this
What's
is
that?
ugly truth.
Yeah.
And
other-
also extortion and falsehood.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, like there's a lot you can still throw at this person, right?
Yeah.
Mhm.
Because the ugly truth is right now that, in fact, you did know that those people were going to follow you inside, and they do have the capability of breaking legs if necessary.
Or murdering
Like-
mercenaries.
Right.
Mhm.
I'll sit down on the desk and I'll say, look, I mean, I appreciate that you respond to me with my proper title, as is my due, because otherwise I would have had you killed. And the fun part about this is that I'll give you another opportunity to rectify prior mistakes before informing the people with whom I am not allied nor affiliated that happen to follow me in that they should have their way with this establishment. But with a minor donation to their cause, I could see my way to talking them out of any untoward activities that may or may not occur.
Okay. He's definitely physically intimidated by you. Let's see what extortion gets us. So, I think this gentleman has a will of probably 4. He's a lawyer. He's going to be pretty competent at stuff. What would you like to throw at this dice-wise? You're probably, if you've got 2 friends in there with you, because that's what it sounds like. I'm imagining one of them's reach, and then one of them's probably that indolent
Flexibility.
Yeah, basically.
Right.
So, I mean, like, you're getting a couple dice from them just being there. That's
Okay.
going to cancel nicely with his dice that he's getting from his 2 mercenaries.
And Where is that table that showed me how many dice I should roll for the
if you-
desired effect?
Just above skills, there's test difficulty.
So I have extortion at 4.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, see, we're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 plus. Okay. So I'm currently at 4, right? So this is a difficult chest.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm gonna fork in.
It's falsehood because it could be falsehood because you're lying about your friends, or ugly truth because you're not very convincing about lying about your friends.
Right. In fact, it says under extortion I can fork in both imitation, interrogation, falsehood, and ugly truth. I mean, my falsehood is high now, but I mean, the way that I said that sounds more like ugly truth to me. But regardless, I'd like to add 1 die.
Sure.
So it's gonna be 4v5, I believe.
5 dice on 4.
1 modifier, 0 Artha, base up 4.
So
Oh my.
I was going to say, before you roll, would you like to add any persona or other stuff?
Oh,
It's a lot of 2s.
Yep.
that's unfortunate. Yeah.
He blinks and is going to visibly step back from the desk. His voice cracks, and he's, my lady, I would like you to leave my establishment now. Take your ruffian friends and go. At this point, no crime has been committed, and therefore nothing could be reported. Please go.
But that doesn't get Adam's money.
Or your taxes back.
It's true.
Or any legs broken, at all. So.
Okay. So let's talk about inappropriate escalation of force. What does the nearest mercenary look like?
I'm imagining tall for a dwarf, not especially heavy. I think this mercenary company probably, because they're functioning in a policing capacity, have blunt weapons.
Right.
So I'm imagining a quarterstaff and a club sort of thing. Yeah.
What is that page?
Picking your battles.
So what you're saying, Zach, is that I should not draw my pistol and Pulp Fiction the guy right next to me?
Look, you got fate points, right?
I have 13 fate points. 9.
Fate points save you from death.
No,
It's
that's
fine.
persona.
It's persona,
Yeah.
but I have 2 of those too.
Yeah, you're fine. You're fine. Do it. Go. Go wild, kid. I've
That's
even
it.
switched to the fight. I'm looking up fight rules for you. We can do this thing.
Okay.
Let's do it.
Fight is like a duel of wits, except with swords.
Yeah, except you might get killed during it. Actually.
I think I can only kill you if you set the stakes as I kill the other person.
Well, I was going to say the stakes is shooting one of the mercenaries in the head.
Then, yeah, it possibly turns into a fight or probably a bloody versus test, because I don't know that this is super important
Right.
to the fiction. But if you were yeah, I'm going to fight Zach to the death, then we'd probably do the full fight rules.
That poor vintner.
It's okay. I would have poisoned you previously.
I was like, but first a drink of wine.
Yeah. To your health.
The boot, it was poisoned.
My blood's actually just toxic at this point. You
I
stab
don't know,
me, I
Adam,
bleed on you.
is that too far? Is that a bridge too far? Do you want these people not dead? Well, they're the mercenaries of the guy, right?
I don't care about the mercenaries.
We want to show them business.
Look, yo.
Fuck it. Yeah, we
Magnus
do it.
ain't. Yeah.
I can always burn another character when this is going to get thrown in jail forever.
Magnus ain't there. This is your call.
How does it work murking someone? Because they are going. This is a person who can actually fight back, unlike that person you shot in the back of the head once.
426 is bloody versus test.
Thank you. So I think the first thing when you go to roll to shoot someone with a gun is we see if the gun explodes.
Yeah, because there's a gunpowder die.
Right.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I mean, you could also just aim to kneecap the guy or something too, if you're just making an example out of him. If you don't want to set
Okay.
the stakes at kill.
Also, the stakes at kneecap.
I mean, injure is a total thing, yeah.
It's the phasers to maim.
God. Just, you shoot someone with a laser and they're just like, oh god, that's actually incredibly painful. Why would you do that?
At least it's cauterized.
Set phaser to bleed?
Just a very low-powered laser beam.
Gunpowder die, there we go. Before rolling to hit, pick up a 6-sided die and roll it. Don't roll a 1, unless you want your gun to explode, maybe.
Not particularly.
Just put your gun next to his kneecap, just in case.
Well, I'm next to this person on their desk. I got a 2
one?
because
Cool.
You're just
I
a
like to
fan
roll
of twos
2s
right now.
tonight.
Yeah, so yeah, your gun will perform as expected.
No unwanted detonations.
I imagine you also like pulled out a pillow too to work as a silencer.
I screw on a pop bottle.
No, you screw on a wine bottle and just don't realize it.
Okay.
That's not how it works.
So this is a fight. He's not... I don't know that he's surprised by this.
I mean, he wouldn't be a good mercenary if he was surprised by this.
Right. So he's going to try to club you while you try to shoot him.
What's his cool?
There are 3 possible results for a bloody versus test. One side successfully attacks, both sides successfully attack, and neither side successfully attacks. Cool.
Really looking forward to you getting clubbed while you shoot this guy.
Right. Each player... In Bloody Versus Test, both players divide their weapon skill plus works and other advantages into 2 pools. One for attack, one for defense. Successes in the defense pool subtract from the opponent's attack. Extra successes in the attack pool do damage as described in the weapons. Cool. In these rules, armor is an advantage. It is not tested separately. You wearing any armor?
He couldn't afford armor.
That's... yeah. Okay.
I mean, you had some cash. You could have bought some armor before this. Probably.
I think all the cash was sunk into the failed tax roll.
Do I do a flashback to
Was that
buying
how it
armor?
was?
Okay. So, what are you
I
rolling
have
here,
3
Mike?
cash.
Okay.
I have 3 cash. Can I magically have bought some armor, or is that like not kosher?
No.
No flashbacks in this game. Sorry.
I spend some stress.
Oh, you're already doing that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Zach, let me know if there's armor that I can actually wear that's not like obviously armor.
I'll look it up.
Wow, it takes you a while to actually take a mortal wound. That's good to know.
Yeah.
I mean, I think I'll go 3 attack, 1 defense.
Okay. Are you forking anything else in?
I don't have like the stuff that they usually suggest, like crossbow, but I feel like I was being subtle about it, even if the guy was prepared.
Sure.
So I'd like to fork like
Do you have one of those cowboy like rotating hip holsters to like
I just like...
secretly shoot a guy?
You also, I mean, know that violence is a good way to extort money, so you're... I don't know.
yeah, I'll just go with inconspicuous or something.
Yeah. No, that's what I was thinking.
Cold-hearted is not at all. It's never what I expect it is. It's like all like, oh, somebody died. That's fine.
Yeah, so cold-hearted means you don't hesitate nearly as much from violence, which will be useful if he hits you, and if you miss.
He's not hesitating to kneecap the guy.
Right.
Okay. All right. So I guess I'm rolling 4 here.
Okay. I think this person has 4 total dice, and they'll do 2 and 2.
Didn't you fork one in, so you get 5? Or is
It's
that
4 and
one
1.
fork?
So 1 on defense and 4 on attack.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So do you want to roll for him?
I will set your off 2d6 greater than 4. 1 success.
So my base obstacle is 1.
Yes.
All right. I'm actually going to re-roll that 6 and spend a fate.
Sure. Get that extra
What's
damage
the-
in.
Yeah, 1d6. What is it?
2 bangs.
Bang, bang?
Yep. Because then it explodes.
Okay, so.
Okay.
Did not.
Okay.
I dropped my fate to 8. Okay.
And you put 1 fate into firearms.
Then my 1d6 greater than 4 is 4. So 1 success there, too.
Nice. And he fails to hurt you.
Nice. Okay, back.
Where did you shoot this man? I think he might die anyways.
Mike just walked away, but do we want to take a quick 5 minutes?
Yeah.
Because I could use it too.
Yeah, we're at the right time. Okay. We'll take 5 and return shortly.
See if mercenaries alive then.
Yeah. All right, and we're back, and I still don't get Mike in the middle of a sentence. So really, I'm just losing my edge. But
Don't warn us next time.
well,
Yeah, don't ask.
um,
Just stop talking.
Gambus.
so while we were on break, we found Mike. We got Mike to roll a die of fate. We found out that the pistol did a B12 wound.
You sunk my battleship.
Which means Lady Margareta has shot this man probably in the femoral artery. They are rapidly expiring, making a terrible mess. And I think everyone present gets to make a steel check.
He used to be an adventurer before you blew his leg off, Mike.
Yeah.
Well, there'll be no marriage for this one.
I really like the concept that Mike is playing Torchbearer and everyone else is playing Burning Wheel. Where are steel test difficulties? This is
So you have to make some sort of quip about how he didn't address you properly or something.
Oh. I'm not going to pay this ransom, my lady.
well, no. Sanderson has been very specific about always calling you my lady.
No, I know.
But
the joke is,
yes,
I didn't hear. Yeah.
Oh no, I was gonna say from the mercenary didn't address you properly.
Yeah, that's what I'm going with.
Okay.
mortal wounds instantly knock a character flat. There is no die penalty. The character is down. Good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so 364 is your obs for steel test. Murder in cold blood is ob 5.
I don't know that this was cold blood. I think this was hot blooded. Check it and see. Thank you.
I mean, I wouldn't have killed this guy if they had just listened to my.
I think this is ob 4, which is shooting another character is actually listed on that. There we go. So an
It's
ob
the
4.
same ob as being stabbed.
Yes.
I like that.
Or encountering anthropomorphic monsters.
Can I get anything into that?
No, but steel is open-ended. Failure just means you sit around dumbfounded. And
So I can't fork in my falsehood, lying to myself.
and there's additional good news because you are cold-blooded, which is page 319. You are less likely to cold-hearted by 1. Yeah, there you go. So yeah, you have an ob 3 steel test to make, which is your hesitation plus ob 3, I believe.
Say my hesitation plus op 3.
Let me double check. GM can award tests based on conditions, player compare, blah blah blah. Okay, so you don't have roll against your steel, or roll against your hesitation. Sorry, so 6, which knock it down to 5 because you're cold blooded. And then, okay, so for
can I spend a fate to reroll that?
Sure. Actually, it's open ended, so you get to reroll one of your 2 dice, but it doesn't explode. Okay.
But I can't roll the other one?
No.
What if I spend fate?
Still no.
Okay.
So, for 1 heartbeat, you're just going to stand there a little shocked. But the way those tests that you pointed out, Zach, on 364 work is at the end of a session, I can be like, you saw some fucked up shit, you get to just have this steel test for free.
Oh, okay.
Thank you, GMs.
Right. So yeah, you just rolled it. Yeah. Well, and Margareta. Margareta will get the 4, and everyone else in the room will get a 3 probably. Yeah. Anyways, so yeah.
It's like they witness a murder.
Mm-hmm. I think your soldiers are going to be as freaked out as you. I think this lawyer is going to be very messed up over things.
Oh man.
And the other mercenary
Got too real for that guy.
that the mercenary is going to just also panic for a few seconds.
Not getting paid enough for this.
Yeah, you just straight Omar to dude. You're gonna get a walk out of there. It's great.
I think the lawyer is going to just run screaming, and I think his mercenary is going to do likewise.
Well, remember,
He's gonna secure the primary.
Yeah.
remember that next time you say no.
So
Before you
these
say no.
these two people run screaming out into the street. What do you do?
I mean, is there anything obviously valuable within closeness?
You can probably get. Well, you're already carrying 3 cash.
I'm carrying all my cash on me.
I mean, you have 3 cash. So the way cash works is it's functionally exponential. So you can't get something that's worth a 4th cash, basically.
Oh, I mean, like my orders to the crew was going to be all right. Everybody grab something that looks valuable.
Okay.
And walk out.
Sure.
To pay the extortion fee.
Sure. I don't know if there's anything. There's probably like some nice.
Wise or value wise.
Yeah, I mean, yeah. How's your commodities wise or
It was just being an appraisal. Skill.
appraisal? Yeah.
Yeah. 'Cause
Open appraisal, Mike. It'll come in handy.
I'm gonna open an appraisal
Okay.
because there's no side effect or downside for opening these skills.
No, just you walking out of a number of trash shops with worthless junk over and over again until you actually get it as a skill is going to be amazing.
Oh, that is absolutely an arrowhead in that person's spine.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Coming out of it.
I don't know how that happened, but damn.
Well, they got shot with an arrow and it came out the backside. I mean, once the head goes through, you got to keep
You
pulling back
pull
away.
it through. You don't push it. Yeah. So appraisal is a skill.
You cut off the other end.
Appraisal is a skill used to judge the value of worth of certain items such as jewelry, gems, artwork, and antiquities. The appraisal skill can be used by a player before testing their resources to ensure that you are getting an accurate price. Okay. No, that feels apropos here. Yeah. And sorry, it is based in perception.
Go ahead and open that skill.
And then roll it. And then steal
Add.
and then steal something that turns out to be damning evidence. It's fine. Whoop.
Which is perception. What's my ob?
In this case, sorry, let me double check. I just had it. It's not Attiliator. It's not astrology. Let's say obtuse. There's a tasteful tapestry. Oh, no. I think it's books, so let's say ob3 antiquities.
Oh, hey, I was halfway to success. And 2 6s, but I can't reroll them.
Sure you can.
I can.
Yeah.
I spend 1 fate to reroll both.
Yes.
Yeah, that's how it works.
Yay. It's bang bang, you said?
Yeah. And that should do,
Not quite.
not quite. I mean, so you got 2 successes. You got 3
No.
successes.
What?
Because
How does that
5,
work it off?
5, 6, and 4. So is what you rolled. Because 6 plus 4 is 10, and the only way I would re-roll the 6 and get the other 4 is if it. So it should only be 1 bang. That's my mistake.
But that's 3 successes then, right?
But that's 3 successes, which means you get the thing. Which means you don't pick up damning evidence. You actually pick up something that's worth something.
Fuck! I rerolled it again just to see.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, there you go.
Nice.
Okay.
Success.
Mm-hmm.
Success. Oh yes.
So yeah, that's where all the
Okay.
6s have been. Mike has been stealing them.
Much like everything else tonight,
Yeah.
I shot the dice and took the 6s. All right, so we walked out with some valuable books.
Yeah.
All right.
And,
Good
you know,
job.
there's some witnesses.
It couldn't have been me. I'm innocent.
I have an aura of innocence.
I have this literal aura of
How
innocence.
dare they slander my good name?
Well, the best
them
part
to
is it
death.
is a literal aura of innocence.
Uh-huh. Yeah. No, you're like one of those like golden age superheroes that like everybody watches fight the supervillain in like the tiny domino mask, right?
Mm-hmm.
And no one can identify the next day. Only you're the opposite of that because you're the one the superhero should be fighting.
I mean, this is a victimless crime, Zach.
Okay.
We stole some books.
So, yeah,
The books
and
are
There's a
insured.
dude.
there's a person rapidly becoming a corpse and rapidly cooling on the floor.
Yeah. There's a guy becoming a pile of viscera right now.
Do they have a really fancy stick?
I mean,
Waiting for the
there's
pun.
there's a quarterstaff and there's a club there.
You need to collect more weapons.
There's
That's what
also
I'm saying.
theoretically the bottom half of a leg that could like be used.
Boom. But for a walking stick?
Oh, it's a walking stick. This is my walking stick.
Where's Rook when you need him?
All right. So is that mine? Is that my scene fiend?
I think so.
Okay.
Jesus.
So I mean, yeah, like, do you just walk back home? Like,
I think we do.
do you
Because-
do you take any precautions, or do you just strut down? Like, just strut out of this business that 2 people just ran screaming from.
I think that I have them scatter, right? Like, I think it's disperse.
Okay.
And then I become inconspicuous.
Okay, let's see the inconspicuous.
Damn it.
Right.
Rolling is tough. I can fork stuff into this. I can fork like stealthy or some shit into inconspicuous. Oh, and a 1 difficult check. I need a routine 1 too. This is perfect. Thank you, Andrew, for reminding me that I should roll inconspicuous.
Mm-hmm.
Forks acting.
Acting!
I need to open acting.
Yes, you should definitely open acting.
What can I do to
And then
contain all
bust
this
with your team.
acting talent?
Unholy acting ability.
Shakespeare in the park when you're not violently robbing people.
Yeah. Okay. And do I call an aura of innocence for this?
No,
Or is it only later? Okay.
that's when you actually get confronted.
Okay. So I roll inconspicuous. I don't really have anything to call on here, right? I mean, maybe stealthy.
Yeah, no, stealthy absolutely works here.
Okay. And what do you have an ob for me or just 0?
No, there's definitely going to be an. Actually, it'll be probably an opposed test.
Right. But like I roll.
I'll tell you what you're rolling against.
Okay.
Oh, because those are traits. Whoops.
Oh gosh.
What's this?
Wise.
Inconspicuous is page 278.
No, I'm looking for observation.
Observation. Oh. It's 286.
Yep.
Oh, it's also a forester skill. Huh.
Yeah, because you need to find the
Find
sneaky
the
shit.
deer.
This is probably. I think it's going to be a... Oh, you don't need a challenging test. At the same time, I don't know that I care. I think this is more than one person looking for you because 2 people ran screaming from this building. Yeah. Wow. Your ob is 2.
Seems fairly routine.
Yeah. Yeah.
With a 4.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No one notices you.
I couldn't have dropped it up to difficult without losing dice.
If you'd gone to like 4 dice on 2, that still wouldn't get you there. No, that'd be
That's where I
routine.
was already 4 dice and 2.
Well, no, you're
I
5
forgot to-
dice.
Oh, you're right. 5 dice. Sorry. Inconspicuous.
So yeah, at least you go unnoticed getting back home.
Yeah. Mission accomplished, boss.
All right. Indiso or Magnus? What's good?
I feel like there might be some fallout that Magnus could have some fun dealing with. Otherwise, I'm just going to go be weird. So,
I mean, what Fallout? I
Guys,
know nothing about this.
does Sanderson like confront you? I wonder.
Does he have the spine to confront me?
I mean, he is a lawyer. He doesn't have great steel. He has pretty good will, though.
he's a lawyer that's down a mercenary.
Yeah, the mercenary who, I mean, was rapidly cooling on his floor briefly. Very briefly. Yeah, I think either Vito or Eladrienne, and if it's Eladrienne, she's saying it with a shit-eating grin, that there's someone here to see you. I think both of them arrive in your office at the same time.
Okay.
And Vito seems a little out of breath, and so Eladrienne just like sort of steps around her junior and says, whatever your title is, as, you know, leader of this guild. So like Maestro Luciano, I'm very sorry to inform you that there's a person here to see you, and they seem rather upset with you, and I have no idea as to what could have caused this. But they have brought some toughs, and I believe they may be scaring some customers.
Okay. I will see him, and I would hate to scare away customers.
And Vito's just like, it's that Sanderson bastard. She's really fast.
Yeah, it's never good to underestimate her.
And she just sort of like smirks at that, and so I should retrieve him then.
Yeah.
And just like a curt nod, and like again gracefully steps around Vito, who's like hands on his knees. He's just like, yeah, what she said. Sorry, boss.
Don't worry about it, Vito. But
He tries real hard.
Yeah. I know.
And I think a lot, like, you know, door shuts, Vito has wandered off, and then like just a few seconds later, like the door opens a crack and then is just like thrown open almost, as Sanderson just storms in the room, and I don't even know how coherent he is, because he's terrified, angry, and like a little in shock. And it's just like a good amount of yelling. I'll have this business, I'll have everything. Do you even know who the hell I am? There's a man dead in my store, and it's all your fault, and I can pin it all on you. And it's just...
Store. That's a crime right there. Get him.
What was the crime, Mike?
There's a dead person in the store. That's a crime.
Oh,
You
yeah,
can't have dead
yeah.
people in your stores. That's a cemetery.
It's a violation of
People
violence.
now? No, shit, what was his name again? Sanderson?
Yeah.
Yes, Sanderson. My good man Sanderson, please take a seat. You seem to be all out of sorts, and I think I'll pour him a glass of the grappa that
Sure.
You gotta liquor it up.
Well, it's
Here,
not,
take a drink of this.
it's-
This will clear up your. This will calm you down, calm your nerves.
and it's not pleasant.
No, not at all.
No. It burns.
Well, and he's like holding it in his hands or shaking, and I don't know that he stops ranting at you, and then like there's just like and he spills like a bunch of it. It's caught in his beard. Hand steadies a little bit and just like slams it down on your desk, and like there's a mess. Like if you had paperwork on there, like it's covered in grappa and like probably some of his spit, and I don't know, like he probably is still moving his hand while like putting the thing down because he's very handsy talker.
Animated, yeah.
Yeah. And just, don't you think you can buy me out of this, and I'll blah blah blah, and just yeah.
Oh, I really want to just buy the property out from underneath him right while he's talking, but
Fucking Luke Cage, the guy, or
yeah.
Danny Rand.
Please, sir, I have no idea what you're talking about. Could you just calm down for a minute and just.
And yeah, he's gonna take like the second, and he's just, your bloody barbarian, your lady barbarian came into my store and murdered one of my guard, a guard whom I hired to protect me from your lady barbarian. It is murder. I will find out where she hides herself. I will have her tried, found guilty, executed publicly, and her connections to you will be used to hang you alongside her.
An interesting story, sir. I don't know where you're getting any of this from.
Oh,
I
don't.
do wonder, though, that you appear to be accusing a noble of murder in my store while fairly drunk, it appears.
And he like stops.
Reeking of alcohol.
Yeah, he stops and he's got like the glass in his hand. I will be sober tomorrow, and she will be jailed.
Sir, tomorrow, I don't think you'll have a penny to your name.
I mean,
But-
if you buy his business, he'll be richer.
We'll see.
You find a way to have his business seized.
If we just
He's
foreclose on his
nothing.
property because we have, I don't know, maybe a forger or something.
Yeah. Somebody forges like back rent documents that he can't cover. Something.
I know. I'll put on the face of the tax collector.
Yeah,
Oh, jeez.
that's
God.
that's a normal set of words to come out of a human's mouth.
Sir, I do believe that you do need a night to think about what happened, and I am sorry that you felt the need to bring this to me for whatever reason, and I do hope that you and your family get a good night's rest,
If this lady
safe and secure.
Are you using intimidate or ugly
If this lady
truth?
is as unhinged as you make it sound, perhaps you should feel for your safety.
Right.
I just want to persuade him to have a good night's rest and rethink maybe that.
This doesn't feel
This-
like persuade. This feels like there's a lot of threat there. If you
Yeah,
were just like,
I
listen,
believe so.
just drop this, like,
No, yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's almost like you like ne'er-do-wells like that do have a tendency of tracking their victims to their homes and eating them. So
I, Margreta rolls forage.
Instead of forage.
I guess.
So yeah,
Sure.
What's
We'll try to open something new.
Okay. So is it intimidation or is it ugly truth?
I feel like ugly truth would be more fun as a mafioso or mob leader. So yeah, let's do that.
Sure. Ugly truth, I believe, is based on your perception, but let me double check.
Okay.
It is based on your perception.
I
So
go with that then. Yes.
And so what's the truth you're stating here?
That clearly, because you went against an unknown person, that bad things happened, and more bad things can continue to happen if you continued in this line of thought.
So it's shut up or get buried.
Yeah.
Okay.
That if someone feels that they can commit murder in daylight during normal business hours, they would have no trouble in making sure that this just disappears, along with you, your kids, your wife, your dog.
If only I hadn't kneecapped so hard, boss.
Yeah.
That sounds like stating the obvious worst possible outcome. So your ob is 1.
Okay.
Which doubles because of thing, but
so if I roll under being learned, it doubles automatically, right?
yes. So yeah, just put your ob in as 1, it'll handle the rest.
That was close.
Yeah. Yeah, that just shuts him up.
Okay.
It's not
Do I
like
mark?
Yep. Yeah, you mark
sorry, do I
1
mark
pip
that
for
as-
that.
One for that. Okay.
Yep. Or a routine perception test, which I don't think you need at 6. Or you don't even need routine tests on stats.
Yeah, for stats.
So yeah, I think what you've done is shut him up in this moment. Like, this hasn't defused the situation.
Right.
He has just realized that, like, the direct route and, like, the legal, shouty, threatening route is closed to him.
Yeah. Okay.
And I think, like, he realizes he's been an ass and, like, feels some quantity of shame. And I think possibly, like, because you get something good out of this, is, like, Eladrian is just like, oh, cool, like, this guy actually knows how to handle someone who's a loud, belligerent asshole.
Much like himself sometimes.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll take it.
So he's just gonna, like, slams your glass down on your desk and just, maybe I should sleep on it this eve. And then just, I will take my leave of you. Good day, sir.
Okay.
I think that went well.
Yeah. No, perfectly fine. This is exactly what I was hoping would happen.
So what were you in the middle of?
We probably would have already sent out notice of the hunt.
Mhm.
Or are we like...
Oh,
yeah,
like
I think it was just...
the final invites or something?
Yeah, like the royal invites, or at least the invites of the people of, higher standing.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Are you writing those by hand? You're not very good at write.
No, not great.
Do you not have people for this, really?
Right.
Like,
I would probably have, yeah. I would maybe write him down what I want written, and then I'd send it to a calligrapher or someone.
To do it proper.
Yeah, on the fanciest of paper.
Vellum, so it survives. What was that the Left Hand of Darkness? No, I'm thinking of Ancillary, the Ancillary series, where they have the like physical memories. Basically, is one of the the cultures. They invest heavily in vestiges. Anyways,
So, out of curiosity, how many people does Mike have to kill with his gun in order for it to become alive?
I think so. If Mike had the Dreamer trait, it would probably be trying to talk to him. I think there
I'm
might
sorry, it would try to be what?
talk to you.
Okay. So I should unlock Dreamer is what I'm hearing.
I mean, I'm a big fan of like the sentient or sapient magic item thing. And this is D&D, or like a D&D world or universe or metaphysical space. So I mean, having a gun that's just like, good job. Functionally.
That was fun. Do a thing.
Yeah.
You nailed it, kid.
Yeah.
Feed me a kitten.
We all want a gun that will enable Mike's
Right.
shooting of things.
That's
Exactly what we want.
Mike's character is shooting of things, please.
Yes, yes. It's separate and distinct entities that are in no way
At the very least, legally.
legally.
You just threatened to have a dude's family killed. I just want to point that out. Like, let's talk about separation.
I'm just saying that if people talk too much, you know,
Talk shit, get hit. It's the
Loose lips sink
sandpaper.
families.
sync families is incredible. I mean, bad. But
yeah, no, terrible.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
This is
Yeah.
all good.
And Eladrian is gonna make passing mention, like, don't forget the like wood sorrows embroidery or like frippery on them.
Oh yes, of course. That
How could I? When you
That's right.
remind me.
with you
Yeah,
hopefully
right.
reminding
Yeah,
me.
Okay. Yeah, and I mean you've got. I'm imagining you've actually got a pretty good attendance between. Maybe that's the way. Maybe you've got better attendance than you were expecting.
Okay.
That might be the thing. I think that's how I come at you. I think I come at you as this is going to be an expensive party.
Okay. Spare no expense, I guess.
Well, and it's like, I mean, you're maybe expecting like 70% attendance of the like, and you're getting like 90 to 95. Like it seems like a
Right.
lot of people that you didn't expect to show up are all going to show up.
I heard it's dangerous to cross you, so they decided to come.
Or just like, I mean, for the Upper Argent folk, it's more like, hey, let's show our support for this local tradition and like really get to know the locals and like they've invited us to a thing, isn't that great? And also we should go and investigate because we hear there's a crazy noble lady what's shooting people. And also
Fake news.
great. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
And also, like the local folk are just like, yeah, we should celebrate our traditions. And it's been a while since I've been to one of these, and I like getting drunk and shooting cannons.
Doesn't everyone?
Right. So yeah, I think that's the problem that you're facing with this party is, it's like, it is exceeding your projections.
Gonna need more wine.
Yep.
I think this might be administration. Like, it's just going to need more everything.
Oh boy. Okay.
I mean, yeah. And that might just increase the difficulty of the paying for it roll. Administration. I feel like this is a small guild. Is a mafia a secret society?
Yes.
Okay.
Are we secret?
I mean,
I'm
I think
not.
that was the original intent.
right.
Yeah.
Right? I don't think it gets cheaper now that you're out in the open.
Yeah. I think this is a small secret society. I think this is Knob 5 administration.
5 administration.
Yeah, to get all these pieces moving in concert.
Okay. Let's talk forks.
Sure. Of which you have many.
Yes.
Forks are amazing.
So
My
we're talking about administration in response to having to basically plan or fund a party or both.
I think it's the execution. Like, it's going to be getting the cogs of your machine in concert. And so I'm sort of treating this as going to be like, it's going to modify up or down the resources check to just pay for everything.
Okay, so this is going to go terrible then. Okay, so the base of administration is a base 4.
Mhm.
I feel like accounting.
Sure.
How hard do I want to make this for myself?
Right.
Let's see.
That's the other thing.
5.
Yeah.
I want to keep this in the difficult range. I can't go past 7.
Yep.
Uh,
I also love how much control you have over your rolls.
I don't know if I always forget what crowd wise. I mean, if I'm trying to organize this for a crowd,
Yep.
does that mean crowd wise works? Okay.
Yeah.
And then I mean, can you just fork something like writing? Like I know how to write my orders myself, so I can do it a little bit faster.
That's
I can get that
probably a
out.
stretch.
Okay. I mean, I could also argue for things like commodity or merchant wise,
Right.
commodity wise, just to say I know what resources are needed for this kind of thing. So
Mhm. Yeah, no, that's a way easier argument to make.
sure. Okay, we'll keep this in the difficult range just to keep it interesting.
Sure.
So that's if I can get my thing to work. I have a 3 modifier, not 30. 3 against base 5. And we will spend fate.
So you've got 2 6s.
Yep.
So yeah, 2d6,
And
1
it's
bang,
2d6.
greater than 4.
Done.
Got there.
So why did the
Why did you
5
roll
explode?
4 dice?
I'm not sure.
I think is the bang greater than 4?
Oh, that might be it. So you got a
Okay.
5 and a 3, which means you still got the thing.
Yeah, you still got to
Yes.
5.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's probably bang greater than 4. Yeah, okay. Yeah, okay. So next time we'll just use 2d6 bang. Okay. So yeah,
Okay.
you get the thing.
Okay.
You exactly
successed
get
it.
the thing. Yeah.
I can
And it's-
get the thing.
Yeah, it's you can make this work. Like you've figured out how to shuffle like people around, and you know these people are going to show up early because they go like they're old and they're going to be in bed by like sundown, and you know these people will show up late because they always show up fashionably late, and you manage to like make what you have stretch without needing to spend more.
Excellent.
Cool. All right. Yeah, I think the party's like looming at this point. Like I imagine there's just like a clock or like a whiteboard or something in Magnus's office, and it's just like this long until the party, and it's just like
Yeah.
It's just servants holding up a.
just ticking down in every shot, like we see over your shoulder or something, and see them in the
Yeah.
background.
It's a servant running on a hamster wheel that's gearing up.
Or else it's like the old the 24 thing when that was a TV show back
Doop,
then.
doop,
And you
doop,
see a clock just
doop.
ticking down every
Yeah.
few scenes.
Yep. Did anybody ever play the 24 drinking game where it was
The following takes place between 7 and 8 p.m. on Friday,
right?
13th of October.
Anyways, so yeah, you've set yourself up to coast through this. Well, to make things work, to stretch.
Right. To give it my shot.
Mhm.
One chance.
Just one.
All right, and Diso.
Okay,
Do some weird things.
of course. This is what we do. All right, so let's make this count. I
Poison your goat.
Yeah. So I think what I'm doing
Yeah.
is, I mean, we will complete a supplication ritual under Moose's instruction. Like, am I standing like over the grapery pit that's under the foundation that we're building the church on? And I'm like,
I think I want the scene where you convince Moose that what you really need to do is like sanctify this place.
okay, all right, deal. We can do that.
Yeah, Moose is in his quarters, his well-appointed quarters with like a proper bed,
Mm-hmm.
and like it's actually kind of getting nice in here. Like he seems to be taking like, and reinvesting that money. Maybe like some beard oil in the beard, just to like, and like grows like a shitty 16-year-old beard, right?
Mm-hmm.
But is
Yeah.
looking after it.
It's good that I found you, Cleric Moose. I wanted to talk to you about performing some. If there were any rituals we could perform that would bring Pakun's favor more closely to our current efforts. At this point, anything that we can do would be helpful.
I mean, I have knowledge of such things.
Excellent. That's great. That's exactly what I wanted to hear from you. Please come. We can talk about this outside. Yes.
And he's sort of like looks to you, looks to just, I don't know. I think it's something just out of shot, but it's something I haven't thought of yet. But he was like in the middle of something. And he just like looks to something just out of shot, and he's just, probably don't want to piss off the boss guy. Okay, yeah. Just sure. Yes, absolutely. Yeah, right behind you. And then I imagine like we cut to you outside, and then like 15 seconds, 30 seconds, and then Moose comes like,
Yeah. Like, and he's like thrown the fancy robe that he's bought with part of his stipend on.
yeah.
Yeah. Like really trying to look the part.
Mm-hmm.
Great. So where do we start?
I'm guessing you're looking for the wine side of things.
That's sort of my connection with Pakun to this point. Yes. I would not. I've not really delved into the other.
And he just like holds up like the finger, just like and like just a little pocketbook, and just like flip through. Back one. Oh yeah, okay, yes. What?
So, yes, you have found something?
Yes. Oh my, yes.
Excellent. What shall we proceed then?
Oh, right. And like I'm imagining like it's well, he probably knows about the stars. And he's just like doing some math, and he's no, this is no, today works. You have to have the stars in the right alignment for these sorts of things.
Well, obviously, I knew that. Clearly, that's basics things. I'm learned on the astrological alignments. It is the relationship with Bakun that I wish to further evolve.
Are you lying?
No, I'm
Okay.
not. I mean, I'm massively stars and that sort of thing, but I don't think I'm lying about it.
Okay.
Yes. So, are we going to need? I'll sort of like point down at the tusk that's sort of circling my feet.
Yeah, like gnawing at the grass in between your toes.
Mm-hmm.
And he's just, what? And I imagine like you've got like a knife somewhere on your person.
Yeah,
And you just
he
just slowly like grabs it, still in like the sheath, and just like
Mm-hmm.
sets it aside on a windowsill. And like doesn't break eye contact from you, and then like puts an arm around you and just no, no.
I was sort of like I'll keep eye contact and like reach to one side and like pull back into frame a full glass of wine.
Sure.
Okay then.
He'll look at you as though he's expecting one for him.
I will hand him one, and then I will reach out of frame again,
And get
and the bottle comes back with me, and yeah.
And he's going to take you sort of like to the extreme north edge of Two Tusks. Is that the one you're blessing, or are you blessing the third tusk?
I set him on a task to do the third tusk, but I think like we're in Two Tusks at this point.
Yeah. I don't know that he's reported any progress on third tusk. He's the kind of person you have to micromanage. Jira hasn't been invented yet, so he's unaware of things that he has assigned to him.
I imagine like there's just like yellow sticky notes or like yellow pieces of paper just like nailed on his door frame.
Yeah.
Go through it. I'll walk arm in arm with him, jabbering the whole time to try to pick his mind about the ritual. So is this a circle that what is?
We'll need to dig into fresh earth.
Okay.
We'll need milk of one of, and like points, like does the same gesture you did down at one of the goats.
Okay. Excellent.
And a few other things.
I imagine the goat's like actually licking lip of the bottle.
Yeah.
That I have down there. Yeah.
And a few other supplies that I've got. Ideally 7 or 8 faithful.
Okay. Do we have a congregation of that size?
Do we have a congregation of that size?
I do not know. Have we been working? How has the conversion been going?
The what? He spends a lot of time flipping through that notebook and enjoying the additional stipend that you've given him.
Excellent. So what?
This is your failed circles.
Yeah, I know, it's fair. Totally fair. So yeah, can we do it with just 8 people?
More faithful is better than more people.
So it might just be the 2 of us then.
And like hasn't put that book down yet, and he just like out of the corner of his eye, and he's yes.
Okay, that's workable.
Good.
How do you feel about Pakun? Tusk?
And the goat just looks up at you with its weird eyes that see through polarized light.
That's what I thought.
And then they blink independent of each other.
Okay. Well then, yes, I will grab like a digging tool of some sort that I'm sure is around.
Sure.
Because there's construction going on.
Mm-hmm.
And I will begin to walk down the stairs into the pit that we were venting the wine in.
Well, no, this has to be like outside, in the elements, under the stars.
Oh. Okay then. Is here good? That's what I'm just,
like
standing
yeah, like
for.
he's taken you
Like-
up the hill to the point, and he's just like, probably he grabbed the shovel along the way and just like sticks it in the ground. He's, and I'll be back around sundown. I'll need some time to prepare.
Okay then. How deep does the hole need to be?
And like sort of measure, like motions, like knee, and then like looks at you and just like wiggles his hand down to like halfway up his calf.
Okay. Yeah, great. I will set to digging a hole.
I love how you're just like opting into making this roll harder and harder for yourself. Good.
I will dig a hole and contemplate the positions of the sea relative to the lines already established in the grapery through previous action.
So sorry, you're trying to like determine where this spot is, like this node is along the ley lines. Okay, that's a thing we can roll.
I'm going to apply my great knowledge of symbology and
Good.
the energies involved to.
I think it was Ob 3 for the common religious symbols, but let me double check.
I'm going to nail it. It's going to be awesome.
Ob 2 is common religious symbols.
Wow, that is actually theoretically possible.
Right. I think you've actually succeeded on this roll before.
Nope, not this time.
Got a 6.
But that does unlock symbology.
There you go.
All right.
Would you like to re-roll that 6?
Oh God, that's a walk. No, I think we're gonna let that one stay in.
All right.
3 6s in a row from here.
Mm-hmm. So it's symbology at 4.
Yep.
Cool.
We can do kapoosh.
There you go.
Oh, I'm already unlocking administration. Oh yeah, I suck at it. I remember
Yep.
now.
Okay.
Suck real bad.
Yeah, you're not sure why this needs to be here. Clearly he was holding his book upside down, and anywhere from like, I mean, the ground looks a little easier to dig up, just another like 15 20 meters downhill slightly.
Okay, no, that totally makes sense. Yeah, let's go dig that up instead.
Okay. Yeah.
I will imagine myself like I've dug one hard shovel full of earth out,
Yeah.
and I like sort of turn,
Yeah.
and like,
That looks much easier. Yeah.
and then yeah,
Good.
wander down the slope.
Mm-hmm. And yeah, sundown eventually arrives. It's probably a very idyllic sunset, given that you're in a valley, in a vineyard, on a hill. Yeah, Moose comes. I think he's barefoot, like he's normally wearing sandals or something, but he's come for this barefoot. And in more humble robes.
Okay.
Carrying a jug, presumably of goat's milk. Has like functionally a fanny pack of additional reagents. And one of the goats is just sort of like chasing after him, like, and occasionally trying to take a nip at the fanny pack because it's just curious what's in there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'm standing there all sweaty and dirty.
Mm-hmm.
Probably barefoot as well by this point.
Yep.
And there's at least one, probably multiple, like empty bottles of wine just around the hole.
So you'll need to get those out of the hole. And I think he just sort of like looks you over and like, did you like nick yourself at all? Like, did you bleed at all?
Probably, yeah.
Okay. And he's, oh, good.
Yeah.
You did get some blood in there too. Yes, good. The sweat was important, but the blood will really help. Will really help things along.
Oh, good. I'm glad that was for a purpose.
It needs to be from toil, you see.
All for Pakun. It's all for Pakun.
And just he nods sagely
Mm-hmm.
at you, and just like hucks the jug of goat's milk at you and just catch. Yeah, and like just splashes over your face a little bit. He said, "Yes, you've got the right idea. Good. Make sure some gets into the ground that's of import."
Okay, I'll start pouring it.
And
Trying not to get any like on my feet, as though they're not like terribly dirty already.
Yeah, it did. You fail. And you save a little bit so I can get the splash too. I imagine you're happy to oblige him, but
Yeah, no, like I keep a fair amount on the bottom and like chuck the jug at him accidentally end over end.
sure. Yeah. He gets like a good stripe and he's, yes. Excellent. And then he sort of looks at you and he's, so how do you feel?
Enlightened?
That's too bad. And then he's just going to tackle you.
Nice. Okay.
I mean, how much do you know about this ritual? Good.
Probably not. I mean, I could give it a roll, but
Okay.
odds are very good I know nothing. Because that's generally true.
Sure.
I'll roll sorcery or whatever, but yeah.
Trying to think what this would be. Sorcery's probably the thing, yeah. Or like Pakun wise, maybe.
Oh god. Yeah, let's open Pakun wise. That seems great.
There you go. Or maybe just ritual wise, if you want to go more specific, but also more broad.
I think it's Pakun wise.
Okay.
Because I want it to be.
Yeah.
I don't want my expertise to actually expand.
Sure.
I want it to just be like
Sure.
this stupid thing that I'm doing. And wise is their perception.
I think
All
this
right.
is. I think this is. You'll get at a. I think this is like ob 1.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
There you go.
Nailed.
So a lot of this has like, it dawns on you like as this fairly young, fairly like well-built man plows his shoulder into like your gut functionally, that like you're starting to wonder if anything like that you were doing had a point beyond physical exertion. And like the sweat and the blood are probably important in like the ritual sense.
Mm-hmm.
But the goat's milk has just made the ground even softer, and like this is like, it's not ritual combat because it's not to the death, but it's ritual exertion and it's ritual competition, and it's like the celebration of the physical self and getting quite literally down and dirty as this like 16 to 18-year-old boy tackles you into some goat milky mud.
Great.
And you realize that what you have dug is functionally a wrestling ring.
Okay. Great. I am going to go with it. And I am definitely going to hit him over the back of the head with the wine bottle.
You're Pakun wise enough to know that that's like foul play.
Oh, is it foul play? Come on. What?
I'm not saying
No.
don't, and I'm not saying that you don't get to embellish this religion that you're building together. I mean, maybe this is reformist Pakun wise, and
There you go. There we go. We're We're a new version of the thing.
Yeah.
No, I figured Pakun would want more like blood and or smashing. Come on, this is.
I mean, it's more about the exertion than the tool use. But
Fine, then I will just attempt to knee him in the ribs over and
okay.
over and over and over and over and over.
Would you like to open brawling?
Oh, I think what I would rather do is make a power roll.
Sure. So you're just going power against his. Wow, you're
Yeah.
bad. Oh no, you're not terrible. Okay.
I mean, I'm not good.
Sure.
I'm
He's
not
he's
good.
going to oppose you with brawling.
That makes sense. That totally makes sense.
So your ob is going to be double his successes here.
Yep.
There you go.
Nice.
Okay. Well, I will not. Maybe I can't choose to now start opening brawling, can I? Damn it.
I think you could. You haven't. You
Yeah.
just know your ob. So
Yeah, because I need difficult or higher
yeah.
for power, so I might as well open brawling. Let's
Mm-hmm.
do it.
Sure. It's going to be an important skill in rituals for Pakun. I will tell you that now.
Great. All right. Modifier is base obstacle 0.
Mm-hmm. Good.
Yes, nailed it.
This is perfect.
Wow.
Like, you're actually doing the thing correctly. Is the two of you are just, like, failing to hurt each other, rolling around, getting absolutely filthy, and a goat watches you confused.
These two mudcake nerds
Yeah.
can't fight.
And you equally can't fight at each other.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just... At some point, like, one of you... I think you both just, like... You're fighting, and then both of you just sort of stop, and you're just like... Yeah, okay, we're pretty fucking gassed at this point, right?
Mm-hmm.
And he's gonna, like, roll off, or whoever's on top is going to roll off the other one and just be like... All right. What are you doing tomorrow night?
Drinking.
See you here at sundown.
Yup.
And yeah, I imagine he's a little quicker to get back on his feet because teenage.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And like,
Yeah.
extends a hand down.
I'll take it.
Yeah.
I'll take the hand and probably like fail, like get halfway up the first time, and then the two mud slick hands slip, and I fall back into the mud again.
Yeah.
And
like
drag
this
me
is
up.
because it's not water. This mud is like just like grosser and stickier and just it's.
Also, I have cuts that I'm bleeding out of that are now like goat's milk mud caked,
Yeah.
which it's gonna be great. It's gonna be real good, real good.
But I mean, like that's Pakun's. That's one of Pakun's rituals.
Great. Okay. I definitely did that. We definitely did that. I'm gonna go get wasted, like cleaned up, marginally cleaned up, and then just like go blitzed.
Okay. This probably results in some kind of dream.
That was my hope. Yes.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like we see like we smash cut to just like an entire wash basin just like and just like 33% of the mud comes off of you. And you just look soaked and disgusting and incredibly upset with the world. And like a goat is just in the back of scene like chewing on nothing. And then it's just like smash cut to a bottle like in your hand, like cork out with one thumb and just like back. And then just from there sort of like continuing the motion as you just fall into your bed. and everything here just looks a little ramshackle and a little run down. And I imagine you're still like fairly filthy with mud as you fall into bed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and the place clearly hasn't been taken any sort of care of because A, I'm me, and B, I'm like training 18 hours a day.
Well, and C, you're taxed out the wazoo right now too.
Uh-huh. Yeah, so we can't afford to like replace things. So the wash bin actually has a hole in it. Like I'm filling it with water and then just like dribbling out the bottom while I'm
I'm trying to think of a good dream to go here. And I don't know if it's like a looming specter of chaos hovering above the city, threatening just burn it all down. I think that might be part of it. And I also think there's going to be just like there's like a new light on the farm. And it is warm and it is good and it is healthsome, but it's also tinged that damned color of orange. And so like you've done like assuming you continue wrestling with Moose, you will continue to like have Pakun's grace and favor. And like maybe in hindsight you're just like, yeah, there were just a couple like weird pits around the perimeter of the farm when I inherited it. And like it explains why every so often you just found like a tooth in one of them or whatever, right?
as soon as a vining accident.
Yeah. And so yeah, like there's you've definitely earned some of Pakun's favor, but it's also like that might not wholly be a good thing. But also like some of the things you were doing here are like, I mean, you might be seen as shelter from the coming storm, or maybe you'll be seen as a target or a place of relative stability and tranquility as like everything in the city walls is slowly going to hell.
Okay, that definitely sounds like me.
And maybe you're slowly going to hell in a different way, along a different axis.
Different hells.
Mm-hmm. So that was fun.
Yeah. I'm
trying to imagine like
sacrifice a goat to do it.
Yeah. I'm trying to imagine what the like just like I don't know how to properly convey the like look that Moose gave you when you're just like, do we murder the goat?
So like yeah, I'm trying to like,
and she just like looks at you just like, no. Like looks at you as though you just drooled on yourself, right? Like
exactly. Yeah. Or like, yeah, like I'm one of those like voodoo tourists or something like that reads some stupid book and comes down and like tries to explain the religion to the yeah, exactly. Only this time it's like an ancient god of wine, and I'm like, so dead goats, yeah, dead goats,
right? Yeah, we just kill them, right? That's why they're always here.
Yeah, that's why we have so many of them. They're here for this. Yeah.
Yeah. Cool. Well, hopefully I've made your life interesting and weird.
Uh-huh.
And it's just about time to hit end of session. So, in DSO, how do you think? Do you feel like you earned fate or persona from any of your beliefs?
I do. The old god Pakun favors his grapery. I will complete a supplication.
Yeah, no, you did exactly that.
Yep, that's totally happened. I am building a great future for the grapery. I will make an across the valley to build prestige. Unless somebody was watching the pit fight, probably not.
I imagine like there's a couple people, but like you haven't persuaded anyone to join, and it definitely wasn't any rich people. Bella, like, in a couple days is definitely going to ask you what the hell that pit is for and why does it smell like goat's milk out here.
It's all part of the plan. My dreams have power and will show me the path forward. I will to induce another one to gain his wisdom. That totally happened.
Yep.
I'm claiming persona for that. Instinct number 1, I will always accept a dream. Produce one if none is. It didn't really do anything to me.
No.
Like if I would have hit him over the back of the head with a wine bottle, I would have claimed it. Probably.
And just produce this. Sure.
I will look for occult signs and all things that.
Yeah, I don't know if it got you in trouble though.
Well, it depends how much of it affected me moving the circle or the pit path. None. Then it's probably fine.
No, it just I wanted to like sort of lean into the fact that Indiso is lazy and too big for his britches.
Absolutely. I will always follow my dreams. I don't know weirder or more interesting or harder tonight. So
Sure.
So that's just 2 persona.
Just
1 and 3. And then I'm patient, off-kilter, prideful, violent, a traditionalist. I don't know that any of those... I mean, prideful, kind of, if you think about prideful as in, like, I know better than the expert I hired to do this thing.
Sure.
And Dreamer came up, but is not one of those. So I think that's it.
If you'd clocked him with the wine bottle, there'd be an argument for violent.
Yeah. I mean, the whole thing was fairly violent, but I didn't initiate it. I just kind of went along with it.
Yep.
If I'd have escalated, it probably would have been worth a fate point.
Yes.
Okay. All right. So by my count, that's 2 persona and a fate.
Yeah.
For the prideful.
Checks out.
Cool.
Margareta.
I think we established the paid group of dissidents, okay? Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you think that they're fully established at this point?
I mean, we did crime.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, you're wanted by some ostensibly legal arm of government.
Whoever wants
Dissented.
dissidents.
Yeah.
Right, yeah.
So, yeah, I think that's probably persona.
Yay. Woohoo.
Let's just take a second. So, like, what's a way that you can sort of, like, expand or extend this?
I mean, more crime.
Okay.
Yeah, like state and escalation.
I mean,
Right.
is it like... Do we go, like, halfway to Blades in the Dark and it's, like, establish a reputation for my crime gang?
I mean, I think that would be cool, right? We want them to. We want people to be afraid of saying no to the question of give us money.
Sure.
I mean, I think is that the actionable part, or is that like the statement of belief? Like, I need to establish a reputation for my crime gang. I will go shoot another dude's leg off. Like,
yeah, I will. I don't know that I need to be the one shooting dudes' legs off.
well, that was just an example. Like,
Yeah.
like picking a goal, something to like. I will do this concrete, stateable thing.
Right.
Because I want to do the other sort of more vague and abstract thing. Right?
I think I need to escalate things.
Mm-hmm. From murder.
Or need to. I either need to take care of witnesses.
Both
or,
legs. I'm going to shoot both legs off the next one.
I mean, as the crime goes, as opposed to the.
Yes.
Because if I come back and they're like, yeah, you heard about. I mean, when I go to the next guy and it's like, hey, do you hear the unfortunate negative thing that occurred to this guy? So yeah, escalation is going to be required.
So right now I've got, just as a thing penciled in, fear is an effective mechanism of control. We will make our name for ourselves through escalation. And I think one of the sort of like secret bonus ways of achieving that is we get a name for your gang.
Yeah. I mean, our reputation is going to have to be messy, daring.
Close, intimate, messy.
Yes.
Close, extortionate, empty, or messy. So you haven't done anything using the corpse of Thomas Cartswallop?
Sadly, no. We only did one scene though, so.
Also, I think
I killed a person, so I don't know if that finishes. That accomplishes my generic kill a person. Instincts. No secrets are pried up.
You could definitely have a belief that's just like all changes, or like death is the ultimate form of change, and I will be her messenger or something. And it's just like a fate farm every time you kill someone or work towards killing someone.
Yeah. Foz is a bloodthirsty god, and I will serve her.
Right. Playing to the judge.
I didn't pry secrets. I prevented people from getting close through murder. No networks are built except for the dissidents. However, I pridefully was violent. I was violently prideful.
Yeah, you get fate for escalating the shit out of that situation.
Yeah.
I've got you probably at like 1 Persona 2 fate for this session, if that makes sense.
Okay. Sure.
1 Persona for the like, yeah, this crew is established and we kill people.
It's the thing we do.
And then, yeah,
Makes
the
sense.
prideful and violent being like, I will murder someone and let their friends leave.
Right, because what are they going to do?
Yeah. And,
Squeal?
and Magnus.
I don't know how much I did today.
Okay.
I guess I didn't have a very big scene, I guess. I didn't get a chance to work on security. I mean,
I think you've got a new threat to it, though.
yeah.
So that might be a way to change this belief. Like, I will ensure its security through...
By removing all threats.
Or just like... or like more specific, like the silence of the Sandersons.
Yeah, there's a a threat to my budding empire.
Mm-hmm.
Silence the Sandersons.
Yeah.
Silence the Sandersons.
Okay, so that might change then.
Meet the Sandersons with a ballpoint hammer.
Yeah.
Like, a ball peen
I think
hammer.
yeah.
Balpine.
Yeah.
I mean, I could argue that maybe Mike's actions helped me exploit non-citizen-owned businesses.
Yeah. Yeah,
Okay.
you get fate for that.
And we have yet to get to the party, so I haven't opened negotiations with the wealthy yet, or the nobles yet.
Sure. I mean, how much more lead up do you want, or do you want to like just cut into it next session?
I'm fine going into it next session,
Cool.
just to get this going.
Okay. We'll probably like open the scene with like resources to establish how nice or not nice everything is,
Mm-hmm. That's fine.
and then go from there.
I'm gonna be providing so much weird booze.
Right. I think that's going to be like, I really want to see the opposed haggle check between the two of you.
Oh, I guess the only thing instinct-wise is refusing to lie to make a deal. Like, I could have tried to buy his silence and say, I don't know what you're talking about. I'm sure this money could
Yeah.
be happy.
Yeah. I mean,
But instead I
you
threaten him
went.
further.
Yeah.
I guess that's also... There's probably a trait in there somewhere.
I mean, you don't have violent on your list for some reason.
No, I didn't
but-
add violent, I guess.
But I mean, yeah, you were definitely, yeah, saying like it would be a real shame if your family burned down was like definitely attack. So yeah, I'm at least 1 fate for your choice of violent or prideful.
Yeah.
Refusing to lie is going to be a fate, and then yeah, you progressed on the first one as well. So 3 fate.
Okay.
Cool. All right. Any closing remarks to defend yourselves?
There's no defense.
I hurt no one, not even the person who tried to hurt me.
You tried to hurt him, and he didn't try to hurt you. He was just immersion therapy or something.
Yeah, there was brawling going
Yeah.
on. It was happening.
Cool. All right. Well, we've been That D&D Podcast. We probably are the same people who we started out tonight as. And we're not good characters, it turns out. Burning Wheel characters are not good people.
We just don't know how to play good people.
I don't know that I've ever seen a like capital G good Burning Wheel character.
I think that I feel like the system in a lot of ways, like the whole thing is there to like, if you're not compromising yourself, it's your job to make us, right?
Yeah.
And so like the best you can hope for is like someone with good intentions that really fucked up.
Well, and I mean, it's pretty easy to get someone there too. It's just like, oh, what do you really want out of this? Yeah, you should try to summon God. How could that go wrong?
It should also be pointed out that like the settings you play Burning Wheel in also are.
I mean, there's definitely going to be a scene at some point where just like the mercenaries that Upper Argent have hired are just drunk assholes who are used to using violence to get their way. Like they aren't good people. I don't think anybody in the setting is good. Which is kind of the point.
Feudalism be that way sometimes.
Right. Anyways, we've been That D&D Podcast. We streamed this live on Twitch, and you should check out our live streams because I think they're good, and I have pretty good taste in things. This will also be up on YouTube tonight. Check us out at youtube.com/thatdndpodcast. We're also That D&D Podcast on basically every social media. We should probably get an Instagram. I don't know what we do with it.
Oh God.
Pictures of Aaron's cooking.
Artisanal dice photos.
Oh, that'd be amazing.
Anyways,
just like pictures of the Burning Wheel book in different lighting.
Oh, it's or I have to say like the blue of the Codex book.
The Codex is gorgeous.
It is
right?
a very good looking set of books. Also, we're just going to continue to shame Adam for not having books.
I'll order him a pair. Show up on his doorstep.
There you go. But anyways, until
Adam doesn't
next
use books
time.
because we keep working our knowledge of the game into his checks. So
Until next time, what's on Thursday?
Kaiju wrap up.
Okay.
yeah, probably Total War. The Corgi is leading the animal people into battle against the Church of Kaiju.
I'm gonna steal all your resources. First thing.
It's gonna be great. It's gonna be great.
I have
These two people.
other side. You want that?
No,
one?
it works. Oh God, we're flipped.
Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, we don't know how directions work. We'll see you next Tuesday. Have a very good and lovely evening, everybody, and be well.
Good night, everybody.